Hey, all right, we're live.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Welcome.
Hello.
Where's my chat screen? I don't have my chat screen up. Well, welcome
And
again to the Drunken Guardian Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, the Drunken Guardian. And today we got our usual suspects. We got Boneless Bones cracking up laughing over there.
what's going on, guys? Boneless Bones
Yeah.
back here again.
It's your boy Bonus Bones.
What the fuck is Randy's icon? I didn't notice it
We-
until just now.
Oh, it's Jay-Z as Galactus.
Galactus.
Come the fuck on, man.
See, I'm not gonna have the camera on today, so I have to change it up every time that I'm
Oh,
physically-
right. Yeah.
Right, makes sense.
So we got Danny, the sober guardian. He came back from vacation.
Hey,
Welcome him. He wasn't gonna be here today, thought so, but he's here with us. And Randy the Ragnarok, or AKA Jay-Z Galactus.
Galactus, yes.
Galactus. And then today we got a special guest today. She is on TikTok. You guys might know her as Elderberry Bat. Hi.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
So today we're going to talk about a very lengthy article that's been around the internet. Bungie, the battle for Bungie's soul is what it's called. If you guys want to check out the entire long ass article, I'll leave a link in the description after the show's done. But aside from that, we'll also talk about Bully 2, and we'll talk about the Matrix, the tech demo that they have for Unreal Engine 5. If you guys would like to see or hear the show after we go live, which is on YouTube or audio podcast services like Google Play, Spotify, Apple, just go to thedrunkenguardian.com, check out all the links over there. And I also did a review for the Gunk, and there are a bunch of other reviews you guys can do. So that's the most recent one I did. Just posted up yesterday or today. Wow, lost track of time. One of those days. The Gunk, yeah. That's a Xbox exclusive. I gave it a pretty decent review. Check that out at thecoalition.com, and again, the link as well is on thedrunkenguardian.com if you want to check it out there as well. For our new guest, so I don't know if you want to talk about yourself, if you want to mention anything at all. What kind of games are you into? What kind of drinks do you like? Since we're a bunch of drinkers here, we like to drink here and have a good time and just kind of be up and honest about all of our opinions in the game industry. Tell us about yourself, Beth.
Sure. So I have been posting about gaming in general on TikTok for about a year and a half. It's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of really cool people, which I was not expecting because the gaming industry, it's not really known for its warm and fuzzy feelings amongst gamers. We tend to be a bit of a cranky bunch, but no, it's been fun. In terms of the games that I like to play, I'm a sucker for really story-intensive stuff. I'm not a huge FPS person because I don't like other people at the best of times, and
agree.
FPS games tend to bring out the worst in all of us.
Yeah.
So right now I'm in the middle of Red Dead Redemption 2. I just started playing a game called Oxenfree, which is really, really good because it was 99 cents on the PlayStation Store. Eventually, I have to make my way to Kingdom Hearts 3 because I still haven't played that, and someone just asked me to talk about it the other day, and I don't like to talk about games I haven't played yet. And then in terms of what I like to drink, I am a big beer drinker. So right now, I've got about 3 different Sam Adams winter flavors in my fridge. So far, the winter lager is the best one. That one's really good. I'm just a sucker for Sam Adams in general. They have so many flavors. It's crazy.
I like the October stuff. The pumpkin stuff are really good.
Yeah, that stuff's good.
Yeah. Randy's more of a beer drinker, right, Randy?
Excuse me. Yes.
Exactly.
Nice.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really into IPAs. So
That's what my wife likes. She likes lighter IPAs.
well, IPAs are delicious. Fucking the hoppy flavor.
They are.
So
Yeah.
good.
It all tastes
I
like
can't.
piss water to me.
Yeah.
I went to a place on vacation and it was like a brewery, and it was supposed to be a chocolate chip raspberry, I think, or chocolate chip, something like that. It just tastes like piss water. I can't drink that.
Sounds delicious.
I don't-
My
I'm sorry.
wife loved
I don't
it,
know.
of
I don't know
course,
if I would go that far,
fine.
and I never even tasted it. Piss water.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, no.
Well, I
okay,
have
there's
never,
one thing.
accidentally have a splash. Forget it. Don't worry about it.
But I do kind of understand his opinion on the whole piss water IPA thing
Mhm.
because
But all beer, so it don't matter. It's not just the
well,
one thing. It's all beer to me.
Mm.
I really don't.
but
I don't discriminate.
I'm
Sure.
gonna have some Goose Island slander here. but regular Goose Island tastes like. So you were just in a movie theater, right?
Yeah.
You know, like when you walk into the bathroom and you smell just like hand soap and piss on the floor.
I guess. What movie theaters you go into?
Is that what the men's room smells like?
You'll be
Sometimes.
Not the
surprised.
ones I've
Yes,
been in.
movie theaters, sadly. But you know how Sober
so
just fucking laughed because he knows that smell. So that's
Yeah,
what regular Goose Island IPA tastes like, and I fucking hate it.
You never
To
walked
each their
into a
own.
really gross movie theater, and even the movie theater smells like that rotten towel. Fucking like they just mop the bathroom floor and then mop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
yeah,
the people sweating in close proximity to each other.
yeah.
It's
They've
a good
never
movie
washed.
theater right there.
They've never washed or changed that mop head for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I've been playing Halo, of course, the campaign, because that's been out for a while. I've been obsessed with that. I've been playing Guacamelee 2, and my backlog is gonna be so fucking crazy because the Game Pass has me so overwhelmed with so much stuff that I can play. So I'm trying my best, Randy. I'm trying my best because I played
What?
Neo as well. The World Ends with You
Stuff
too.
that's not any good. So
No, I
Oh,
finally
oh.
got past the day 5 part. I'm on day 6, but in that actually day 6 is actually kind of interesting because you have to clear all the territories.
you know, you guys were
Oh,
talking
the,
about
Challenge
the
Pack?
award show, and like there were no good RPGs that came out, and that's why Arise won. I'm like, I agree, there were no good RPGs that
Yeah,
came out because
yeah.
Arise sucked. I mean, because Neo sucked.
One of you guys mentioned that last episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
I didn't
Shit.
watch
What else?
anything for the awards.
Oh, and Danny, I finished Arcane, the Netflix show. It was so
Oh,
good.
wasn't that good?
So
I
good.
told you that's just like crack, right?
Such
I
yeah.
like I'm not gonna lie, I might have cried a few times. I'm not gonna. I'll admit it.
It's
Is it
all
that
good.
good? I haven't
Yeah.
watched it yet.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh my
yes.
God, it's such a beautiful
And
show.
I don't
Beautiful
play League
show.
of Legends
Just
at all. Do any of you guys? I know
me
Randy
neither.
and
I mean, I do, but
and Kevin
it's
play League of Legends, right?
I only
it
play a
has not.
character.
It's just as an anime or show, period. It was nicely done. It looks so beautiful. My father loved it.
Beth,
He loved the art style and everything on it.
do you
I'll
play
check it
League?
out.
Do you play League at all?
Me?
Yeah.
God no.
Okay.
Everything I've heard about League is
smart.
it's just an
Yeah, it's
instant downer.
toxic.
Yeah. I can't. I don't want to
But
touch it.
you don't have to be a fan of
Yeah,
League
yeah. But
at
that's
all.
I bring it up because
That shows.
I wanna
I knew nothing about the characters.
I wanna ask Randy and Kevin because I know they played. Well, Randy definitely plays. Like does the story at all in Arcane like have anything to do with the game? Like, is it connected in some way?
Isn't it just
yeah,
lore for
it's lore.
characters?
Yeah,
The characters?
Lore for characters. Yeah.
So it's just they're expanding like because there's I'm not gonna say 1,000,001 obviously, but they're well into like 160
Yeah,
Characters?
I don't know how many fucking characters are. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
More or
Jesus.
less.
Yeah.
but they wanted to focus on the story of like Vi and Jinx and Caitlyn and Jace and whatever fuck.
Mm.
It's lore for.
Are they like
3
original characters from the game?
Actually,
No, they're
Jace-
not. I don't think
no.
Chase is not.
No,
Jace
no.
was early. Jace was really early.
Was he?
Mm.
Yeah, Caitlyn, Singed. Those two were there from the fucking get.
I know Heimerdinger.
When I was
I love
like,
my
yeah,
dude. I love
Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger.
You could play as that little dude.
Yeah, he has
the-
little bots, like little gun turrets that you upgrade.
Okay.
He puts turrets,
why.
shoots rockets
Yeah.
from his head. He throws a little.
Yeah.
grenade. It's fun, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, those were originals from I was like what fucking 13, 14 or some shit.
Yeah.
And then
Which was like last
at,
year.
fuck you, at like 16 or so, that's when Vi came out, and then Jinx came out later, and yeah, like that. They were really big fan favorites from the get, so I
Mm.
could kind of understand why they decided to like go for the cash cows as opposed to like other characters that aren't that popular. Some of them are, but it's mainly like the K-pop skins and shit. So there's not much.
Yeah, isn't that KDA thing?
Yeah.
That's also League of
Yeah.
Legends, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for those like people don't want lore, they just want anime skins. But then for like the badass characters, they want like more story to that. And you know,
Mm.
more power to you. But it's a good expansion on it because they didn't really do retcons or anything. Because Vi and Jinx were always sisters.
Oh.
There's even like in-game passives that apply for like specific characters, like those 3 in particular, Vi, Kate, and Jinx. And yeah, I know that I hear that it's good. I am gonna watch it at some
It
point.
really is.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I I'll probably watch it this week.
Yeah.
Most
That's
likely.
my
Kevin,
favorite
you
show as
wanna
well.
watch it
Yeah.
together?
Huh?
You want to watch it together?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
I actually have to
watch
watch it because of Project L, because Jinx is in Project L as a day one roster.
Oh.
So her and Echo. So it's like the characters that I'm looking forward to playing. I was
Aren't
like,
those
I might as well.
for fucking
Huh?
show.
Huh?
Yo, XG, what's up, Puertas?
Aren't
What's
those
up,
the only
Leticia?
show?
Welcome back.
Yo, what's going on, guys? No, I'm definitely gonna watch it this week because right now I've been like just finishing animes that I like had in my backlog for like years. Like I watched Redo of the Healer. I mean, what is it? Revenge of the Healer or Redo of Healer. I finished that. That anime was a lot to take in. I just finished the new season of Agretzko. They literally sneak dropped it today, and I was just like, "What? I'm about to watch this." And I've been only playing Pokemon because I'm a degenerate.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to what we played and stuff. Kevin, what about you? What you been up to? Oh, by the way, I'm drinking mezcal because I ain't got time to make no cocktails since I just got here. But Kevin, go ahead.
Sorry, XG. Yeah, that anime was it was a lot. If you guys don't know what Redo of the Healer, I'm gonna just give you a synopsis of it, and I'm gonna keep it as clean as possible. The show is literally just about
It's revenge. Porn.
It's revenge porn in the worst way possible, and
Revenge porn.
Yeah.
What?
Love that.
Yeah, and it was a lot to deal with. Like me watching it, I felt like I was like, I can't watch.
I mean,
this
he
with
wasn't
anyone
wrong
in the room.
though.
But he wasn't right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The end does not justify the means. I understand.
Not at all.
At the same
Not at
time,
all.
like, given
The
the circumstances, he's kind of like right.
Nah. The
Great,
first.
it's really good though.
Let's keep moving, guys. Let's keep moving, guys.
Yeah. So I'm drinking Theraflu because I'm sick, so I can't really drink. So
That kind of has alcohol in it.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's better than drinking alcohol and not waking up
Hell
tomorrow.
Fair point.
And Danny, I never ask what he's drinking because he doesn't drink. But
or White Claw.
What you
White Claw?
I went on vacation and I had one drink almost every day.
What'd you drink?
White Claw.
White Claw.
A lot of pussy things. Like I had a spiked hot chocolate. Another one that was very similar to that.
That's good.
Hot apple cider, spiked hot apple, which was gross. That was not good. Had that one beer, and I think that's about it.
Huh.
And because I had that spiked hot chocolate one day, because that was really good.
Oh, you wild child!
I know.
Look at you being
making fun of me.
Oh, yo, sober just for you. I had a White Claw, and I was like, "How the fuck does he drink this?"
I don't drink White Claws. I drink Bacardi.
Mixers.
Bacardi rum.
Yeah, those mixers.
Yeah, the Bacardi rum punch things.
Yeah,
it tastes like juice.
Oh no,
pure juice. I love it.
Why don't you drink Four Locos?
Nah, you're trying to die.
I actually have tried Four Locos before. It's actually not bad, but I'm like, what it makes me feel.
They were like too fucking
tingly.
Tingling. What are you feeling? You know what? Yeah.
The original recipe of Four Loko.
Gasoline.
Randy, what about you?
The feeling of not being in control. Hold on, before I didn't say what I was.
Well, no, go ahead and say that. Actually, that's actually a good thing to talk about.
Well, I only played one thing. It's been before they came out, Final Fantasy.
I
have nothing, literally nothing.
Take a shot of your mic.
Exactly.
I've been playing nothing Final Fantasy. Actually, playing it right now. I'm in a dungeon.
Is it a new dungeon?
There's a bunch of them. Every 2 levels you get a new dungeon.
Yeah.
And every other you get a trial. But it's great. I love it. They did a great job with the storyline, and I'm actually really concentrating on the story this time. And it's really good. They kind of trying to, I'll say make up, but they're trying to finish off the story. And
yeah, I heard this is supposed to be the last DLC for like its story to conclude. Yeah.
So it's very good. I mean, they're doing a great job. I like it because it's like basically you don't know where it's going. Like most RPG games are. There's your bad guy. You're gonna fight your bad guy. You gotta figure out how to kill him, whatever. You can kind of get it really easily.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, the person who I thought the main bad guy was, you basically defeat in the beginning, kind of, and then they showed this big bad thing. Okay, that's gonna be the go-to thing that we have to kill. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. No, you kill it early. All right. Okay, what next? And it's this constant. Okay, what's going on? What's next? What's happening? Okay, and I like that because us playing so many RPG games, especially, we kind of predict everything when it comes to the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Super easy. So the fact that I'm not predicting and I have no clue where it's going next, I really like. It's
Okay.
not just about what crazy dungeon we're gonna do now, which of course is also really good because they're super challenging. They're
Yeah.
super challenging right now. Even like the simple ones are really hard, and it
Mhm.
doesn't make it easy that there are new classes for everybody picking and don't know how to play, you know, like healers and stuff like that. So it
Mhm.
makes it a little harder, but still the mechanics itself is still challenging and fun.
All right. Randy, what about you? What's been going on?
Genshin Impact,
Of course,
work, and I'm drinking Modelo right now.
Modelo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy, have you been paying attention to Dokkan?
Oh yeah, I have actually. Yeah, that
And
too.
Dokkan.
Fucking yeah, they came out with a new Goku and Hit card. That's actually pretty fucking cool.
Mm.
I want that on my team.
I've been kind of cracking out on that actually. There, yeah, I'll tell you more about that shit later, Kevin.
Gotcha.
But there's
Yeah.
a Goku's family team that I have that
I gotta-
is fucking ridiculous.
I gotta try that game. You're always talking about it all the time.
It's a really easy, mindless 5-color tic tac, no, not tic tac toe, rock paper scissors kind of ordeal.
Mm.
It's easy to get into, but at the same time, like if your first couple summons aren't really that like great or like eye catching to you, it could be kind of hard to get like into the game because your teams are gonna be fucking pissed in the beginning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I came in the survival tournament,
Yeah.
the tournament of Power Arc, and I got like the special LRUR Goku, and I was like, I didn't know what the hell to do, like the first 3 months of playing the game, and then I was like, oh okay, you do this, that, and the third, and then like the team is cracked. My Universe 17 is cracked, but I'm trying to get a better unit for that, but that's for a later conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I think
but
the
overall-
three of us have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's why it's like
Yeah.
instead of wasting time and confusing everyone.
Yeah.
And also
it?
Magic for a bit.
The actual card game, right? Not the
Yeah,
digital
the
one.
actual card game.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The digital one, it's not like I'm not into the idea because it's like the whole account thing, and then you can make real purchases, and then you have to like.
I'm
buy
assuming you just don't
packs
want to
on
start
the
all over
online thing.
again with all your.
No, it's
decks and
not
stuff.
just that, but also like one, yes, two, also, God forbid something fucked up happens with the account.
Yeah.
At least like I have the physical cards if I'm done playing the game, as opposed to like, oh well, shit, now I'm locked out or whatever the fuck, and I shelled out all this fucking money for what? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna hire someone
do
and
have
just
I
rob
have
you of just Magic cards.
I have it. The arc. I only played
Mhm.
the mobile one, and I do say that I haven't. I think I must have spent like $5 in the beginning, and then that was it. It's
Mm.
actually really easy to get money if you do the dailies type of thing.
Yeah.
It gives you
Yeah,
lots
but
of gold.
also I
and
have
then-
other fucking games that I need to do dailies for. I'm not gonna tack one more onto that.
But again, it's like you play like 2 matches, maybe 3, and you do your dailies. So it's not hard. You know what I mean? And
I have the Dokkan thing. I have fucking Genshin. I had the Final Fantasy, the Exvius. That shit was a fucking pain in the ass to keep up with as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Except
Again,
for
it's still a game, but I'm saying when it comes to regardless to Magic, like I can't play Magic with anybody. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna go to some random fucking store and play with a fucking 5-year-old. But having it
Play Little
outlined,
Florida, you
being
want to play
able
Magic?
yeah, kick your ass. Um,
Okay.
I have I think I have a better understanding of the game since I used to do tournaments and stuff than you do.
Oh,
So,
well, I mean,
Danny was a
if we're
professional.
doing that, then you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't see. I
Is
can't.
it even field?
I can't. That would be.
I'll play Yu-Gi-Oh. You play Magic. How about that?
I should do that when I was little. We should do Magic versus Star Wars,
Oh,
and we just
Star
kind of like
Wars.
make up your
Oh my
own
God.
rules. Yeah, remember the Star Wars card game? I had a buddy who
Did
loved
anyone here ever play the Pokemon TCG?
Yes, when I was younger.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how long ago was this? Let me go ahead and ask that question to like give some context to anything.
How long was it again?
I said, how long ago was this that you played the Pokemon TCG thing?
This was like early
What?
2000, maybe 99, 98.
Shit, I was a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Remind me
like
how old I
literally 3
am.
years old. For context.
Mm.
All right, Beth said yes. So when was the last time you played?
It was probably when I was in like first grade, so 2000, 2001. And I didn't really play it. I kind of just collected them for the art on the cards. I wanted like all of my favorite Pokemon. When it came to actually playing, the guys in my first grade class were like, "Come on, you have to play the game," and I have to. And I would always say, "No, I just like the cards. I just think they're pretty."
Mm.
That's pretty fair. That was me as a kid.
Yeah.
It was like what 5 years ago that I actually started
Nice,
playing it.
nice.
Oh man, that takes me back. Did they still make the game though, right? People still play it?
Yeah, no, of course.
yeah.
They still
Yeah.
make it. They still make changes to it.
Mm.
I actually stopped when I found out that fairies were going to be like taken out because that's like my favorite type. So yeah, fairies are now paired with psychics, and that's not fun for me.
Yeah. The fairy beats ghost now, so that makes sense.
Sure. I
Well, no, fairy just be what fighting. It'd be
No.
dragon.
I don't know these
Oh,
types
yeah, and it'd be
anymore.
ghost, didn't it?
I stopped after the first 150, and I'd never done anything with Pokemon ever again. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I disappoint everyone.
well.
Oh,
Now you just
no.
played Destiny.
Yeah.
What if
yeah.
they made
Which
what was
nobody
it,
plays?
Pokemon Light and Dark with like Destiny characters and shit? You got Cade 6.
I mean, if there was like a card battle game with Destiny or like a RTS game with
Take a shot.
Destiny, hell, fuck you. Damn it.
It was a trap.
It's a
Felt
trap.
like it was a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd play those. I would definitely play those. Of
I would
course.
only play Pokemon Light and Dark if it was like Pikachu and Garchomp on like the Star Wars poster. Like Pikachu is Luke Skywalker and Garchomp is Darth
Oh
Vader.
my
That would be the only way.
I'm visualizing
I
that
would
now. That's funny.
Yeah.
And who will be Princess Leia?
Jinx. Jinx.
Oh god.
Yes.
That's also where my brain went. Yes.
Han Solo.
Han Solo. Good question.
Oh, the Squirtle from the Squirtle Squad.
With the glasses?
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
Oh, okay. I see where this is going.
Yeah.
R2D2 could be like Magnemite.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. Oh man, that'd be a fun game to play. Actually, we should do that. Like casting movies with Pokemon or like cartoon or video game characters.
Geek culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall.
Fuck yeah. So all right, did we get everybody? Because now this
We're
is the
just
first
sticking to
time.
Disney. And then
This is the first time
we're
with
good.
so many of us being here.
Yeah.
Now we got
Um,
5 people total. We got everybody, right?
Wow.
No, we had Letty before.
No. I'm
Or
talking
like-
about right now,
Yeah.
covering what we're talking about.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna get another beer.
Yep.
And
Well,
you
I'll
go
start
ahead
reading the
and
first
start-
episode.
Yeah,
First
start
article.
on your thesis statement for Destiny.
Yeah.
Your thesis.
All right. Well, not Destiny. Bungie.
Yeah.
Bungie.
Sorry.
Shit.
So,
Daddy Destiny.
Daddy Destiny. All right.
Go
So,
ahead, your term paper submitted.
first article. We got Rebecca Valentine, who wrote an IGN article about Bungie's past and their stance on harassment and equality in the workplace. The article is called "The Battle for Bungie's Soul." So, you guys can check it out. I'll post up the link in the description after the show's done. Right now, what I'm going to do is summarize it just for our discussion so that way everyone can be on the same page. Yeah, so in September, Bungie announced that they would hire a diversity and inclusion director to update hiring practices, HR reporting, harassment training, etc. To most, including myself, they would think that this is a nice proactive choice that Bungie's making, considering that all that's happened with Blizzard. And the response from former and current Bungie employees were not as promising. IGN had spoke with 26 former and current employees at Bungie within the past 10 years, saying it's too little too late. They stated accounts of sexism, discrimination, difficulties being unheard, toxic work environment, or difficulties being heard, toxic work environments in general, and a hell of a lot more. Majority of the Bungie team during Destiny 1 were white males, while now in Destiny 2, there's a higher ratio of females and people of color, but was run by white male leaders. This is a quote. One leader from earlier in this period was described by one of our anonymous source as a sexist nightmare who yells in meetings and would throw papers across tables. Multiple people told us he would frequently rewrite things at the last minute, often on his way to voice recording sessions. Writers wouldn't learn about changes to their work until after voice lines had already been recorded. When people objected to his demeanor, he told them they needed thicker skins and learn how to take criticism. He called one woman on the team an unmanageable bitch. Another source said he was literally the worst person I've ever worked for. Another quote, he was eventually let go, but he was replaced by what sources are saying were similarly antagonizing men. One lead frequently made sexist remarks, but also complained about reverse sexism, and on at least one occasion made homophobic remarks to a queer colleague. He would openly mock his team members' ideas in meetings, then play his mockery off like a joke, and would frequently take credit for works other people have done. End quote. The article is ridiculously long and has a lot more detail, so check it out for more stories on what happened, because that's mostly what it is. It's mostly they're taking into account pretty much everybody that said something about Bungie. They even talk about their crunch time experiences, Bungie's supposed core values, stories about the hell the writing team went through, and even some more homophobic concerns about one of Bungie's characters in the game, Destiny. A lot of complaints while I read this article could have been understood as employees who just never complained to the right people or HR or stand up for themselves rather than stay quiet until now. Yet the article actually touches on that as well. They said they went to HR, that they're just like employees at Blizzard. They've been ignored. They even can't even say anything because they're under non-disparagement agreements. So they're kind of stuck in a corner with that. This is another quote. There was at least one long-standing Bungie employee in HR, still with the company, who almost all of our sources described as actively protecting harmful individuals. Multiple people said that their job seemed to be to make it all go away whenever somebody had an issue with the company. So the new D&I director has programs such as Black at Bungie, Trans at Bungie, Women at Bungie, Accessibility at Bungie, in an effort to change their practices. They're also very well known for fundraising for many, many different causes. So I always appreciated that stuff, but like now in light with everything that's going on, I don't know what it says about them. Now that was pretty much all I was going to say about it. There is one more thing that was posted on today, and I sent you guys the link. I don't know if you guys read it or not, but it's basically that last HR person quit today at Bungie.
Yeah.
So now they have a letter of resignation saying, that most of Bungie employee or HR department anyways, that they should be new people that should be able to take over the company now and help out with everything. They need fresh eyes, fresh faces in order for things to be fixed the proper way. So they decided to leave the company. I have no idea if it has anything to do with what came out now, or recently with Bungie and stuff like that. But that's what the latest news is that pretty much now all of HR is gone. And I guess they're getting fresh faces at Bungie now when it comes to HR and the new programs. The CEO even made a statement as well. I think it's bullshit because it was all a lot of corporate talk and a lot of corporate apologies. I don't think it was from the heart at all. That's my opinion on it. If you guys read that statement at all that he posted on Twitter, there's links to that as well in the article that I'll link on the show description. So that's pretty much the whole thing. I want to start with our guest first on the opinion on that stuff. What do you think about Blizzard and Bungie? Now Bungie's kind of Bungie's kind of doing the same thing. It kind of seems like it's everywhere in the game industry.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate thing is the Activision Blizzard stuff, the fact that they're like actually being sued by the state of California and all of this stuff is coming out. I think that now, unfortunately, we're going to be seeing it a lot with these other big game development companies. It's not just Bungie, it's not just Activision, it's also, Riot has had problems with harassment. I know they're being investigated. There have been complaints about the CEO at Quantic Dreams. There have been complaints from Rockstar employees. So it's unfortunately industry wide, which is kind of sad, and we're learning about it. But yeah, I mean, the fact that the head of HR left because, in her own words, she feels like the team at Bungie just straight up don't. It feels like the team at Bungie just doesn't trust any of the existing HR professionals, which tells me that people probably did complain and nothing was done. So in terms of whether or not anything's actually going to get fixed, they need a completely new HR department. I mean, that doesn't speak well to how things likely were behind the scenes. So it's sad to hear all the stories that are coming out, but it's not surprising.
Not surprising, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, you're right. It's not just Bungie, and it's not just Blizzard at all, as well. It's so many other companies, and like it goes together just with the crunch time stuff and how developers are treated. So this is like just tenfold more that there's there's way more than just crunch time that people need to deal with in the game industry. They need a whole new system, a whole new, like, just I don't understand what the problem is. I mean, well, I do know what the problem is. It's just a lot of males who kind of just never grew up, and they kind of just treat them the way they probably have always treated women and people of color and trans and just everybody else. Is just like it's all a joke, and they think you can say, oh, I'm just kidding, it's all in good fun and all that stuff. Yeah, sure, you could try that, but that's not always going to work, and that's not always acceptable to everybody.
Yeah, I remember when a lot of the Activision stuff first came out, I like jokingly made a video on TikTok that was like, oh, well, is it any wonder that the games that have the most toxic fan bases are made by the companies that seem to have the worst company cultures? And there was a part in the article that I read where senior employees at Bungie were like in the Reddit threads where people who were playing Destiny were like actively making death threats against some of the female employees at Bungie, and the executives were just kind of sharing them around the office like they were a joke. So it's like the executives at the companies are the same exact people who make gaming a hostile hobby for people who are just trying to have a good time. So it's weird that they're almost basically like the same person. It's just they're on opposite ends of the screen, I guess.
Yeah, it's like higher ups. There's little ones kind of just pointing at them. Do this, do that, and
Yeah.
just Kevin, what about you? What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I with topics like this, I always expect everybody to do their best, but like expecting everything to be normal and like fine and hunky dory it's like too naive, especially with big companies now, like especially with like Blizzard, now Bungie is it's like it's disheartening, but it's not surprising. Like it's good to know that like most of this shit is getting aired out, and hopefully they change, like they get new management, everybody is like a fresh start from this. Everybody that was endorsing these like fucking and like cheering on these disgusting actions, they need to be removed, and pretty much that's it. Because the thing with me is like I don't want to get too frustrated on the matter, so I'll just keep it nice and sweet and say like Bungie, you need to change your shit. A lot of stuff needs to change, and it needs to start with the top, and from there on we'll see how it goes. But from now on, it's going to be in the same like bad like corner as fucking Blizzard, and it doesn't matter how much they do like good now. It's their image is already going to be tarnished because of this one instant. But who knows how long this holds up? You know what I mean?
You have no idea how conflicted I am, because you know how I am with Destiny, and just
Take a shot.
What?
God damn it.
Yeah.
You know how I am with that game, and
What game?
Yeah. What game is that?
and it's just well, you know what? Before I even ask another question, like Danny, what's your opinion on it?
First and foremost, let me just say that obviously I think I don't agree with the sexist and the misogynistic comments and things that they were making. Like, that's first and foremost. Like, we all agree that shouldn't go that far. But I come from a corporate world, and the one thing I learned is the more money I make, the less I do. It sounds horrible, but it's just a thing.
Mhm.
Pointing at people and telling them to do shit, that's their job. At the end of the day, the main corporate maker, if he wants to tell somebody, you do some bullshit research for me, he's the main guy. Chances are good. If he's doing it properly, if he's doing his job properly, he shouldn't really have time to do some bullshit research that somebody else is gonna do for him. Give him the paperwork. He'll read the footnotes real quick and then keep it moving. That's what makes him successful, right?
Mhm.
Also, being a hard ass, sometimes in certain industries, you just have to do it. It is what it is. So you have to have that border. You have to have that line. Yes, you shouldn't go that far. Kevin, I'm getting a really bad echo from you.
From me?
Yeah. Every
Probably.
time I talk.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So when fuck off. Well, not
Top
your
of the
fan.
corporate ladder.
Top of the corporate ladder is basically this main person, whoever the main person, to be successful has to be a hard ass sometimes. I'm not saying every time, and not every company. You know, they sometimes have to be that hard ass, and while you're doing that, while you're being that hard ass towards everything, you're making shit happen. And if you're making shit happen, you're making money, and the more, and it just kind of has a huge snowball effect.
I'll be right back.
Fortunately, what happens to a lot of people, I believe, is it gets to their head, and then they believe they can say and do anything. You know,
What do you mean, like the
when
people
they
just below the management?
no, I'm talking about man. I'm talking about the top of the food chain, the
Okay.
CEOs, the people who are doing this. They've risen to this height for a reason.
Mhm.
You know, they've done everything. Great example, Scrooge. We all seen it, right? He got where he was by being kind of a dick, but he got where he was. Yes, he went too far, but the guy that was gonna replace him in that movie was that Peterson guy. He was just like him. He was a dick, but he was nice about it. He was kind of hiding it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you have to draw that line between the Bill Murray and the guy who gets tied up at the end.
All
You
right.
know, you
So
see right?
I got two questions with you about this before you go any further with that, because this is a lot to unpack with that. Number one, fuck, how do you say this? Actually, it's not even a question; it's an opinion. Management, I get it. I completely understand where you're coming from with this, because again, like I was in the corporate stuff for a while before I ended up in the restaurant industry and management and all that kind of stuff. But I understand that you got to be a hard ass. You got to even be a dick sometimes with people at all. But there's a difference between being a difficult boss because you need to get your way because you know what's best for the company versus how you treat your employees specifically, or how other people are supposed to treat their employees. Like, even you can be the nicest person in the world, but as soon as you find out that your mid management is treating the rest of your management like shit, you have to step in and do something about it, though. So at some point there had to have been a point where those CEOs and FCOs and all those other people had to be like, listen, why are we hearing all these complaints from HR? What's going on with middle management? Why aren't they doing something about this? Why do I have to step in? I shouldn't have to step in, but I will have to if I need to. That's what's supposed to happen. Is that they don't need to step in, but they should step in when it gets too far.
But the thing it is, the ladder, the way those ladders work most of the time, it kind of sometimes doesn't get that far. You know,
You mean it doesn't reach them?
It kind of doesn't reach them. I mean, like, reason why the HR hides things like that. Like, there's other management that are hiding it from the top of the food chain before that happens, and I've seen it happen in my corporate world all the time, where I'll finally come up to somebody and be like, "Hey, look, you got to pay attention to this because this is happening." And they'll look at me like, "What do you mean this is happening? This can't be true. Somebody would have told me by now." Well, I'm telling you, type of thing.
So like when it gets out, it's already too late.
Sometimes, and especially if the environment is especially if it's making money and the cause, because at the end of the day, it's all about making money for a lot of these people.
Of course.
So if it's working, then they're kind of not gonna fix it. as much until they have to. And it's but every industry we've seen it with this. I mean, we've seen it in the news. What's his name on the Today Show? It's just something that's always happened. It's happened for multiple years, and then it's nothing new, and it's gonna go away, and it's gonna come right back again. It's horrible, but it's
Well, I mean,
the
aside from CEOs, let's put the CEOs aside, because maybe yes, they can't be ignorant to the situation until it's too late. Maybe they can be
yeah.
completely oblivious to it. But what about the rest of them though? Like, they have no excuses. Like, why is that
Yeah,
allowed?
and
Why
and
has that
again,
gone on?
and again, that's what I always say, that it gets it up, but you have to draw that line between being that asshole and going too far. And a lot of these people is just that position of power. They have the position of power. They think they can get away with anything, regardless if they're middle management or whatever.
Mhm.
They think they're bigger than they are because they're trying to become bigger. They're
Okay.
trying to get to that CEO status.
Mhm.
So they think they're just looking upon what they see and just what works. And sadly, what works right now is this horrible nature. Now, can you fix it? Yeah, of course. I mean, should it be fixed? 100%. But what if having that dickhead boss is what saved Destiny 2? You know what I mean? Destiny 1 fucking bomb. They brought in this asshole
So
guy.
did the
who
beginning of
fucking-
Destiny
he,
2.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he brought in his asshole guy, something happened, and then what if he saved that? The company's gonna look at it as, oh fuck, we just made a bunch of money off this asshole. Let's try to do what we can to save it. And that's usually what happens. And it sucks, but it's what happens, And do I agree with a lot of this? No, I don't. I 100% don't, but
Okay.
know,
But
I
you
don't
do
know.
see another side of things. I understand that.
The
Yeah.
thing is with it's like that idea of like it's the price that you pay for genius or whatever, and like a lot of these creative industries, because like Hollywood also has its problems with like
No.
super sexist bosses, and it's like, oh well,
Oh yeah, of course.
he's the guy. He's if we get rid of him, then maybe we'll never get another masterpiece again, or maybe without him we won't be able to make money. And I'm gonna be pessimistic and say, the phrase that always gets used when these kind of stories come out is like, oh, the company had a frat boy culture. And
Mhm.
what that means is all of these managers are buddies with each other.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
if I, as a manager, hear from one of my employees that like, oh, well, my best buddy, Tim, guy that I've known for 10 years. No, he's a good guy. He would never. Team member must have just like taken it the wrong way, or oh, I'm sure he didn't mean it. So that
Oh,
I
it was
think
just
is
a
a big
friendly
part of
slap
it
on the
too.
ass.
Like, yeah, there's being a hard ass, but there's also like, nah, it's my buddy. The employee's probably just overreacting.
Mm.
I agree. No, I 100% agree with that. That's that whole aspect of covering it up by accident. Even if you don't mean to cover it up, you did it because exactly what she just said. Oh no, that person wouldn't go nowhere about it. Ignore that. And if that keeps on going on, that person knows they're safe. No matter what they do, they're safe. And
Mhm.
it gets to HR, and HR's like, well, I have my hands tied.
Yeah.
We were told not to do anything.
Kevin, what you were gonna say something about it?
No, that
The Theraflu hitting.
Yeah, it's hitting different. But yeah, nah, it's really that fucking mentality of that's my bro. I know him since like way back in the day, and it's you see that in a lot of work environments, and
Mm.
it's something that it's hard to get rid of when it's so like embedded in the company, and it takes time to do that. But the way all these companies are doing it now is just like it's one big event that gets shown, and then like, do they ever actually change after it? You know what I mean? Like, that's something that I always wonder. Like, do they learn their lesson after that, or do they just like keep the mentality?
Well, they learn how to cover it up better.
Yeah, or learn how to cover it better.
I really want to hear from Randy, but before we do, like, I still do have another question, and thankfully, like, we do have a female now on this to actually ask you about this. Do you think, like, is this a guy thing? Is this more of like a masculine thing with the whole frat boy fraternity culture type thing? Like, do women do this at all, where they kind of like favoritism towards like women? Like,
I think what happens is men will behave differently when women are around. From my perspective, I think that when there are women in the office, it's that kind of natural dude urge to be competitive and everything, it gets like amped up to the max, because then you have to, from what it seems like to me, men feel the need to like perform how alpha they are. And it does happen with women too. There was a female CEO at a company, and they made like underwear for that time of the month, lady products they made, and she was a monster to a lot of her employees, and it was like a woman-led company. But I think some part of it is the absolute power corrupts absolutely. I think when people are given that much control over other people's lives, it goes to their head. So it's
no
not,
matter the gender.
Yeah, I do think it's stronger in men, unfortunately, but women aren't immune to it either, I don't think.
I'll agree with that, honestly. All right, so I'm sorry, Randy. So yeah, we haven't heard from you in a while. So what's your thoughts on all of this?
That is okay. I'm actually playing Genshin right now while it's going on, so
okay,
good. But one thing that I did want to touch on, and I'm actually glad that Beth had mentioned it, was the whole like women empower and such. One thing that they're saying that they did is that they're implementing more women and more people of color, and that's all fine and dandy, but and no one is into any shit.
Yeah.
Like women can be tyrants. Fucking any man of any race can be tyrants because they're like, oh, it was dominantly white males. Awesome. It's just a person. Everyone has capacity to be an asshole. Everyone has capacity to be fucking just a nice piece of shit. The whole like hiring people of color, it's great and all on paper, but it could be just as bad as having a white guy. Like as a Mexican, working with other Mexicans is a fucking nightmare. I can tell
I
you
agree.
for a
I
goddamn
hate.
fact.
I have one Puerto Rican rule. There's only one Puerto Rican allowed in my household.
Puerto Rican
That's why I married a white girl. No.
Oh boy.
No, but in all seriousness, it's like I'm not trying to be slanderous or whatever the case, but in every single restaurant that I've worked at, every single Mexican has, and this is like with women or with men of whatever the fuck, whether there's a guy present or a woman present, whatever the case, everyone has to have like this whole power trip to them, and it it doesn't differ from anybody. But it doesn't seem like it's going to make much of a difference. As of right now, they're probably not going to say anything about it because it's like, oh, it's a happy change, this and that. But I can guarantee you that shit will hit the fan to a minor degree, if anything.
You mean like even now with Bungie, even though they're trying to fix things?
Yeah. Like I'm
But
not saying that it's going to be like terrible or the greatest thing, but it shouldn't be written up as something that's like such an amazing step forward because again, no one is immune to that.
Yeah. And to touch on Randy's point and Beth's point, is that I feel like personally the diversity like screen is that's just smoke and mirrors. Like saying diversity now is like saying, oh, I can't be racist because my friend is like black, or you know what I mean? Like it's that whole sidestepping the situation. Like you're not addressing the issue.
What do you mean? Fucking BLM, bro? Like I
No,
can't be racist.
no, because then those are the.
As in, like,
I'm
people that
not
use it
gonna,
as a
I'm not gonna
cover-up.
touch on that because I know a bit about it, but
Yeah.
it's more like a I can't be this because of that. It's like I can't be X because of Y, and that's what they're doing now, and it's not helpful just adding another like variable, just saying like, oh, we're gonna be having more women work here, we're gonna be having diversity. Okay, that's cool, but it happened with the people that you had in the company at the moment. Adding that and adding more, it could probably happen. Not saying it will happen again. I'm not saying it. I'm not hoping that it happens again, but it still can happen again with reverse like sexism, or it could just be like it could be a a man of color doing it or a woman of color doing it. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, all people have a potential to be awful, and I'm not saying all people are awful, but they can do awful things, and just add like trying to sugarcoat it and put like a title on it. It does not. It honestly doesn't help. You're just kind of making it seem like it's okay now, and then it could be horrible. Let's say 2 months, 3 months later, a year later, and it could be something worse.
Goes right back.
You know what I mean?
Danny, you wanted to say something before Kevin started?
I was just saying that like basically like I don't think it matters like it's kind of what Kevin was trying to say. Is it doesn't matter whether it's black, white, man, or woman. Asshole's an asshole, regardless of what it is. I think just saying that I can't work with other Mexicans or I can't work with other blacks is just like one of those things where it just happens to be that the Mexicans they might have worked with are fucking horrible.
Mhm.
Where I go where I am, Mexicans are the hardest working people in the world. Person is a person. Doesn't matter what their race or culture is.
Mhm.
I always call everybody Dominican anyway. And that's kind of like my joke with them. Honestly, it kind of is like I'm Dominican too. Like it's all the same shit because
Mhm.
we are an asshole's an asshole, person's a person. It shouldn't matter what race or ethnicity they are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And trying to point out, oh, we're gonna have more women, we're gonna have more black, we're gonna have more. No, just be a company and just stop acting like assholes.
Just do
If
better.
and
Like,
if you,
Although they
but
still,
but
I
I
mean,
am a true equal opportunity asshole. I do believe if a CEO, whoever it is being a dick to a woman and he's being a dick to a man, he's being a dick to but he's being a dick to everybody. He's just a dick, and it shouldn't really can't take it personal. You know what I mean? If a person's just a dick, he's just a dick. So if I start cursing you out and another girl comes in and I curse her out too, it should be equal
equal
opportunity
opportunity.
on that,
Yeah.
just the way I am, you know?
Now, here's the thing though. So like I agree with what everybody's saying about that stuff. Remember though that the whole adding more women and more people of color to their roster of employees is only one part of what they're trying to solve. Because of the ratio was so bad before. So they're starting to work on these increments and stuff. Yes, that's not going to solve the whole problem. It may just be they're announcing that kind of stuff because they're trying to look a little bit better, in the press and stuff like that. It's possible. But that's just one solution in the overall process of trying to make Bungie better. So now with that being said, for everybody, I have a question for you guys. So because they're trying to make these little fixes here and there, do you think at this point it's too little too late after everything that's gone on, or are they able to redeem themselves, or, should they just fucking just shut down and screw Bungie and all this? Like, what are your thoughts on all that stuff?
Okay,
Brandy.
can I raise my hand?
Go ahead.
Go with. Right. So it definitely is too little too late because they were saying that it's been since like 2011 or some shit. So that's well into 10 years that they have seen these problems and have had these problems reported. One of them that was close to the beginning was like the little whiteboard thing of like, oh, days from last explosion. That's not okay because then you have like how is it? It's not just the whole like race, sex, whatever the case. It's also 10 years of people flipping shit, 10 years of people being undermining, 10 years of people that had to sit there, even if they weren't there for the 10 years. They're making these changes now when they could have made them before and they
Yeah.
could have kept everyone happy. Everyone
Imagine
that was
leaving
actually
Bungie like
good.
7 years ago and then just hearing about this now. Like, what the
That's a
fuck?
fucking slap in the face, honestly.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible because it's like, oh, okay, so from 2011 to 2013, I was working there and I had to work with this fucking asshole that he threw a chair because he didn't like the way that we were like going with his vision. Okay, so fucking he ends up leaving after I leave. I'll be pretty pissed about that. But then he came back, and even though he wasn't a part of like the actual team, he wanted to delegate a bunch of shit because Destiny overall wasn't what he wanted it to be, and Bungie was still like, well, but he's the writer. They let that shit fly.
Mm-hmm.
And for those people that had to suffer this fucking asshole's wrath, hearing that all these changes are being made now, like it must be fucking infuriating.
Mm-hmm. Anybody
Because I mean, like,
else?
imagine you're working somewhere and you had to deal with some cunt, and then it's like, oh well, he's gone now. Okay, but he should have been gone way the fuck before
Yeah.
I was
After I
gone.
said something a million
Yeah.
times.
After I said something, after she said something, after he said something, after everyone here fucking spoke up, and you guys defended him.
It's like the person cuts your legs off and then gives you like sticks to walk on, and then that's the fix. It's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
but we fixed it.
but we fixed it. I can't walk on these.
Yeah.
I can't. It's not working.
Yeah.
I think
But,
the core
the
thing
further thing-
is,
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
yeah, it's if they're able to, if we're going to be optimistic, because the thing is, the employees, if they know they can go to HR and HR is going to do something, that completely changes having to work with hard asses. It's the knowing that going to HR is not going to change anything and might actively make your experience working there worse.
Yeah.
So the fact that their head of HR just straight up said, I'm out. I know I can't fix it. Y'all are going to have to hire someone new and hopefully they can fix it. So if they can hire an entirely new HR department and they're going to come in and be the hard asses and be like, hey, if we hear that you're hugging a female employee or like making your female employees go through your Tinder swipes with you, there's going to be consequences for that.
Mhm.
So we can only hope, but we'll have to just keep paying attention.
Yeah.
So you think it can be fixed though? Like they should still just make an effort and
I think
maybe
it
send someone?
can be. It's just that I'm not.
Will they?
My hopes aren't high, I guess.
Because even
Yeah.
now, it could be fixed. It just can't be fixed right now. It's too early
Yeah.
to say if it can or cannot.
I'm down.
We could cross our fingers,
Yeah.
but also with one thing that you said like that with about hard asses, there's a very big difference between a hard ass and an asshole.
Yeah.
Because a hard
Mhm.
ass is like they'll push you, they'll kind of like they'll really try to like keep on pushing you to do a lot better. Whereas an asshole is just like, oh, okay, you're fucking useless, even though you're doing your absolute fucking best, and
Yeah.
you're actually more than beneficial.
It tear you down.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
but
I mean, and
it's gonna
again,
take a long
but,
time.
but here's the biggest thing is that sometimes they don't. What
Yeah.
happened? What ends up happening is I had a boss, right? Who I've never cursed at a boss in my life until I met this guy, and I let him go fuck himself more than once in his face.
Mhm.
And on paper, his boss's boss, who's my boss now, told me, "Did you know that during that time that store did the best profit wise it had ever did in the past like 10 years or whatever it was when he
Mhm.
was managing it." So on paper, this guy is pure dick, and I almost felt this close to quitting. Like I literally had somebody talk me off the ledge when I walked out.
Mm.
Mhm.
But on paper, he looks like he's phenomenal because he's making the branch of the company money. On paper, he's doing great. The complaints that aren't coming to him aren't going to the boss's boss because there is a ladder. The first ladder is complain to HR, and if HR sees fit, meaning they need somebody else to back up or collaborate the story, and even if they come and bring their people in to see what's happening, none of this stuff is being happened in their presence. So therefore, it can't be true. You kind of need hard. A lot of times, you need hard proof on claims that are this harsh sometimes, right? And this is just them trying to do their job type of thing because you can't just say anybody's word.
Mhm.
Danny all of a sudden decides to hate me and says, all types of fucked up shit about me. You have to have
Well,
actual proof.
that's the difference though. The problem isn't that the CEO is being a hard ass or an asshole. It's like the problem was that the lower employees, all the people actually making these games and making the CEO money are not happy because of the way they're being treated. And
But
it doesn't go as far up as it should because maybe
but
the
the
CEO
the
didn't know
lowest
anything until that article
but
came
the
out, you
lowest
know?
and usually the lowest tier are the ones who get shitted on the most. And it happens with every
That
company.
doesn't make it
Amazon.
okay
Right? Fucking
though.
doesn't make it okay, but we still buy fucking Amazon Prime in a heartbeat, right?
Well, sure. I mean,
And you've worked there and you know how fucking horrible it is.
I would even discuss like it would be an interesting discussion we could have right now is just like will you still buy Bungie games? Just like will you still buy Blizzard games? Like there's a difference between the games and the company that we could discuss about, but right now we're talking about the employees.
At
Mhm.
the end of the day, well, if Bungie came out with Diablo 4 tomorrow, I would play it.
Sure, that's good. I mean,
All of
that's
us
all
would.
good.
All of us would, and then the whole idea of this conversation that we had will go out the window. Halo, it's still gonna make a buttload of money, even though this thing's going on right now because people love Halo.
I would not hate anybody to decide right now if they would never ever buy a Bungie product again. And the same thing goes with Blizzard. But like for me, that's like I just said in the beginning of the show, like I'm still conflicted myself if I should still continue playing these games because I love these games very much so. And now I'm very much so conflicted because in my head, when the Blizzard stuff was happening, I was just like, I'm never playing any more Blizzard games. Fuck Diablo, fuck Overwatch, screw all
And
that
it's
stuff
it's
because
super easy to
I wasn't as attached
it's
to them as I am with
exactly
Destiny.
it's super easy to do that for a game you don't give a shit about
Yeah,
or a thing you don't care about. No matter game, it's a thing you don't care about. But when it's something you actually are attached to and do care about and do love, sometimes you go, oh, Michael Jackson still had great music, you know.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
it's
yeah.
it's about his music, not about who he was. And people are gonna say the same
Yeah.
thing about this.
But
Yeah, it's
my
well,
my gripe
well,
though,
the game is
is that
great. They made a good game.
you can't say that these employees should be overlooked simply because the one and only goal for this company is to make money, and they're doing that very well. Like they still have to treat their employees well, because that turnover rate is ridiculous. Like if you have all these people quitting all the time, and then you hire more people, and then you fire them, or they quitting over that, like that doesn't make the company look good either. And then eventually that's when they're going to lose money as well. How are they going to find more employees when they end up getting a reputation of this place is a shitty place to work?
Yeah, it's a shitty place to work, but for some reason people still fucking go to Amazon like it's a warehouse, like it's nothing. Even though it has a huge reputation to being the worst fucking warehouse job in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely worst warehouse job in the world. But it's not gonna stop them getting, say to McDonald's. McDonald's is the worst place to work for. People still fucking work there. It's the only opportunities sometimes they have, you know. Um, as long as they have the name up, well, we're gonna pay you halfway decent until we decide to fire you. You're gonna keep going there. WWE, you watch wrestling. WWE is a perfect example of that right now.
Yeah.
Everybody
I
knows
haven't watched
the worst
WWE in the
wrestling.
longest time. I haven't
Well,
shopped at a
they
GameStop in years.
they know that they know it's the worst thing to work for. People still want to do it in drones because it is the best. And namesake, it is the best. It can
All right.
possibly jump you off.
My point though is that the reputations is eventually going to precede them. Those reputations are going to catch up to them.
Yes.
Yes, Amazon is a very good point, because a lot of people still will shop at Amazon despite of what everybody knows about Amazon.
I need my next day shipping.
But for example, yeah, but for example, look at GameStop, look at WWE, look at Blizzard, look at all these people suddenly stopping their support for these companies because the reputation is starting to catch up with them. Like eventually, I would not even doubt that Amazon is going to happen the same exact thing. It could be before our lifetime, but it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
The way I kind of look at it is there's an added layer of confliction, because the employees who get shit on are also the people who are actually making the games, and they're super proud of what they make.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even like they don't want us to play the games, because they've spent years of their life making them. So the way that I've kind of come to look at it is I try to pay attention to what the employees are asking for. So there's a lot of talk about different gaming companies' employees trying to unionize. It's been happening with Activision. There was like a demonstration outside of the gaming awards. There were a handful of game developers just out there like, yeah, we're trying to unionize. We're trying to make things better for ourselves because we don't trust the CEOs to do it.
Those CEOs are fighting hard not to get unionized.
Yeah. So what I try to do is just make sure that I try to actually, when I can, I try to actually like follow the individual game developers that are able to talk on social media and see what they're saying, because we're going to get the truth from them far clearer than we're going to get from any statement that their PR team puts on their website.
Yeah. 100%. Well, that's a good point. I mean, you keep the employees happy, you get better games, you get better company. Like why is that so hard to understand?
Because they can just find new employees if the existing ones aren't happy.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a whole new graduating class of baby game devs who would kill
who don't
for
know
an
better
entry-level
either.
job at Bungie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that when you can pick up anybody like that the next day, then their job becomes irrelevant. I always say that my job can be replaced tomorrow, so just make the most of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you're a developer, you just have to have a plan. Utilize, if you know Bungie's a horrible fucking company, chances are good you're gonna go in there, go, okay, I just want to get my name on this fucking game. The second I get my name on this game, I can go work or create the next fucking Bungie.
Why should you be joining a company with a backup plan though? You should be happy and stick with that company because you get all the benefits. You get a 401k. You get health and dental and all this stuff. So like you're making all these plans to join a company just so you can jump ship after a year or two when you think you might not be happy with it. Like that's not how you live a life.
It's not, but it's also
shouldn't be.
Yes, it shouldn't be, but you have to utilize what you got, utilize what you can,
And on top of that, though, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like on top of that, though, like aside from the toxic environments that the game industry can have sometimes, there are all these corporate bullshit that happens, like where developers get bought and it dissolved into other companies, and then you lose your job anyways, and it has nothing to do with a toxic environment. Like, the whole gaming industry is a very unreliable job in general. So like, being happy with one job is what I would think any company would strive for. Randy, you're
But
quiet. Go ahead, Danny.
I don't being happy with one job sometimes is not the goal. Like, I was happy if I could work in a Blockbuster. Doesn't mean I was working at Blockbuster for the rest of my life. I mean,
Yeah.
I had to have my goal of, okay, where do I want to do? Where do I want to go? You know, okay, I want to work in construction. Okay, what's the best construction company I can get to? All right, it's going to be, CEO of whatever. Okay, I can't get to that unless I do A, B, C, and D. Sometimes, right now, you can utilize Bungie. It's a fucking, or Blizzard or whatever, these horrible companies, and they have turnaround rates, but if you're able to get your name, be the one of the lucky ones. And that's the thing, there's so many fucking people in this world that are claimed to be game developers right now. It's not like it was 20 years ago when nobody fucking knew what a video game was.
Yeah.
I think it's super
was on Nintendo.
overpopulated. It could be exactly. It's everything's Nintendo. It could be super overpopulated, so to the point where it's like, oh shit, this is hard to get into now. So if I'm lucky enough to fucking get into Bungie, I'm gonna make the most of it.
I see what
I don't
you
give
mean.
a fuck what happens, and then I'm gonna get myself a great fucking
as
job
as the
for
stepping
myself.
stone towards something else.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what's
I have
happening.
it on
And
the
and some companies know that I'm just a stepping stone, or our company's just a stepping stone. We know that our turnaround rate is fucking ridiculous.
So maybe
But there are some companies.
Some people should just stay indie right now, just so they could avoid all these
Well, that's what I'm
publisher
saying.
and bullshit.
And there are ways and plans. I mean, you're not gonna just most people, especially if you're a game developer, your main goal is not to work for just Bungie. Maybe your goal is to be the CEO of Bungie, but then that means you're doing different things. You're working different steps. And
Sorry, I'm telling myself.
so that's just my take on it, and how the turnaround rate on why that's can be so horrible and nobody really cares.
Okay, that makes sense. It does make sense. All right. Anybody have any final thoughts before we go on?
I guess to explain the other thing that he was saying, like, you'll put up with the toxic work environment just to have it in your resume. Because even though it's like it's a shitty place to work at, it still looks good. Like, oh shit, he worked at
just
Bungie.
1 year, just 1 year.
Yep. Oh, you need 1 year. I worked at a whole year. You lasted a year, Bungie.
Oh
yeah, you have to be great.
So that means you'll put up with anything. Okay.
No.
Here we come.
I do understand the sentiment of working in a shitty environment to like up your resume, because believe it or not, I'm not proud of it, but I literally worked the job for 6 months just so I can get out of the job I didn't want to work at. And then I quit that job 3 months later because I hated it. And I found something that I enjoy now, which is it's a lot better. It's more stressful, but it has more benefits. But the idea
I don't mean to cut you off real quick. There's also a flip side to this whole coin of what I would just say, which I just dawned on me because it's also happened to me as well. Some of these people who are working at Bungie could be working there in hopes that the company will get better. That was their dream job. They wanted to work there, and then they're, you know what? I'm gonna stick it out because one day this company is gonna be a fucking normal goddamn company, and I'm gonna be the place to work at. And I can see that also happening as well with certain people.
A lot of they try to like ride the ship and ride the wave and see how it goes, and sometimes it does better and it changes, and sometimes it doesn't. But like we can't say anything now. We can't make we can make a final statement on our thoughts of it, but we can't make a final statement on if they will change or not, because that all falls on them. But yeah, like I could say I could partially agree with I could agree with what Dan says about working at a place just for that, because where I'm working at now is literally just a stepping stone for another career that I eventually want to be into, because it's more secure, and for me, I feel like it's a better opportunity than where I'm at now. But I understand.
Yeah. Well, to the people working at Bungie, I hope you guys stick it out. I'm glad. I hope you guys are okay, and Hope it all works out and stuff like that, because at least they're trying to make some sort of steps, whether it be PR or not, all PR stuff. Like at least they're trying to do something, and we'll see how it ends up in the next couple of years. Hopefully, they're just not as bad as Blizzard when they end up with a fucking Cosby room and all that bullshit.
Yeah,
But here is my final thought, real quick.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
think that the
Final
beauty of
thought.
social media,
Final
my
thought.
final thought, the beauty of social media right now versus 10, 15 years ago is
Mhm.
that a lot of these things can come out easier.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I'm sorry, what's your name? Beth? Ren?
Yes, Beth.
Something? Beth, okay. Beth is able to now follow not the company, but the people who work there to
Individuals.
see
Yep.
if the company is actually doing what they're supposed to, and that's the beauty of social media right now. And I think big businesses know this, and they're kind of like just waiting. Oh, fuck, this not BS, not BS, not BS.
Mhm.
Eventually, it's gonna get to a place where they all have to kind of change the mold a bit, and that's what we all, as outsiders want to see, because we just hate the notion of, because it's sad to say, but no matter what, we're still gonna buy Amazon, no matter how horrible you hear. But you want them to do good. You want them to be good. You want them to all fucking have great work environments. But if they don't, oh shit, that sucks. It's the selfish mentality, but it's the mentality we're always gonna have. But with social media, we're able to try to maybe change this to be a kind of a keyboard word to change it.
Yeah, Danny's opinions could piss me off sometimes, but I love how real he is with that shit.
Fuck Puerto Rican says no.
That's what he means by PR stuff.
Puerto Rican stuff. Yeah. All right, guys. All right. So thank you for that. So the next thing we're going to talk about is rumors. I don't like to talk about rumors too much. So I'm going to talk about
talking about rumors.
Nah, not really. Well, I'll mention
basically.
the rumors, but it's really more so, just like this example, is more so to lead into a different type of discussion involving the rumors. So there is a strong rumor that Bully 2 is going to be announced soon. This comes from an article from gamerant.com. They say a reputable leaker, Tom Henderson, says the game was supposed to be announced at the Game Awards and that a few have actually played a bit of the game already. There's no evidence for the claims, but this is what he's saying. He's a reliable leaker, so to speak. So if you have any thoughts on the game, let me know, like just the game in general and the announcement of the game, if you're excited for it or not, if you like the first game, whatever you'd like to say about it. But mainly I wanted to bring up this to talk about how do you think Bully 2 could be seen? Would it be inappropriate in an age of school shootings and suicide rates? Like they're rising like crazy due to bullying and online bullying, getting higher.
School fucking gun.
Hold on.
Weapons.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So there's a lot of more sensitive topics, that Rockstar tends to kind of overlook, like just for the sake of making a game that kind of pushes the envelope. They're not very sensitive when it comes to a lot of that stuff, so they kind of just make a game. Sometimes I kind of feel like they do it just so they can get the recognition, but we can talk about that as well. So how do you think the game should play? How should it be presented? What are your thoughts? Well, first of all, let's start with just that. What are your thoughts on a Bully 2? Are you excited for it or not? Randy, I haven't heard from you for a little while, so go ahead.
I'm super on the fence. I'm like hopeful but not, because okay, so Bully 1 was actually pretty fucking good. It wasn't, how to put it, it wasn't crass, right? Because technically, like, yeah, sure, it's Bully, you're kind of a punk, you're a delinquent, but your character isn't an asshole. It's more of a redemption story. Like when you play it through, because you're not the bully, but the guy that you befriend in the beginning, he's the actual bully because he's the one that wants to like fuck up your whole school career and everything, right? Spoilers, sorry if you haven't played the game.
After 20 years.
I haven't played it.
No.
Neither have I.
No.
15 years,
Yeah,
I'm
but I don't
assuming.
remember.
I have nothing
Well,
to offer on this portion of the episode.
I'm glad Randy's giving a recap though, so at least you guys can get an idea of it.
Because here's the thing, it's like what they advertise it as is like, oh yeah, sure, it's a little school sim because you do have to like have everything on a curfew, everything is timed. It's a GTA in a school, and you have a small town to kind of go through. The character is always portrayed just like in articles or like even in trailers or whatever the fuck. Like if someone recaps it, it's oh yeah, no, you could do this asshole shit. But you don't need to.
Yeah.
Like there is an option to do it, but also like if you're doing the main story, you're not the bad guy. You're not the bad guy by any means. But I also know that this generation is going to be a little too sensitive at the ability of being able to do these asshole things. So Bully
Mm.
2, it's going to be either very saturated, or if Rockstar wants to come out with the shock value as they did with Manhunt, um, it's probably going to just be something even more, something that the original Bully wasn't. Because
So you think
it's
it
funny
could
that
go one way or the other? Either they pander to how the new generation is now, or
yeah,
they're just go extremely ridiculous.
yeah, because even then, back then with Manhunt, they did kind of push the envelope on that one. That one was
Oh yeah.
pretty fucking gory. Um, but I'm surprised they didn't go through with it for Bully. But I feel like if they do go in that direction for Bully 2, there will be something that's kind of fucked up. And by kind of, I mean in the terms of school shooting, it's gonna be
You know what I feel like they
either
do? I'm sorry, like
what?
now that you
No, no,
mentioned
go for it.
now that you mentioned that, like maybe they will touch on school shootings or anything, something like that
They
to
have
that
to.
nature.
Yeah.
I feel like they would go the route that Call of Duty did or Modern Warfare did, where like they'll have the little captions in the beginning saying, you know, this is sensitive subjects. If you wish to skip this part, or you wish to like not deal with this, or maybe just a warning in general, like if you're sensitive to these topics, don't play this game. You know, things like that of that nature to, you know, of course, just to cover their asses, but also so they don't trigger anybody either for the stuff that's going to happen in the game.
That is a sensible thing to do. I just don't see Rockstar doing that.
No.
Yeah.
No. Because
Yeah.
if they do end up including like a school shooting level, whether it's the protagonist that does it or there's like a, oh, you got to stop the shooter or whatever the case, it's still going to be in poor taste.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're the hero or you're the villain in that, I don't see
No
that
escaping that.
going. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see it going in any good light, regardless.
I can
Because even
try.
when TV shows go for it, it's still really disturbing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's one cop show, I forgot what the fuck it was, but they have this whole like 30-minute segment on a school shooter, and you see the different squads kind of going about it.
Mhm.
And even though it's TV, it's also super tense and disturbing because it actually fucking happens.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It could either
Uh,
be seconds, minutes, hours, whatever it is. It's not something that should be really like touched upon, especially if it's for like if it's to make a fucking buck.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
Kevin, go ahead.
it's like the I don't know how well versed you guys are in Call of Duty, but in I believe it was Modern Warfare 2, the No More Russians.
No More Russians. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the thing I was telling you about. They had a little you could choose to skip that scene because of how graphic it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, and it's like that. If you've seen the scene uh and you like played it, it's extremely disturbing. Even if you know it's for like a just reason, the reason the character is doing it, it's like it's super fucked up. And adding like a school shooting to like a game, I feel like it's good. It's too soon. You know, it's too soon to have
Well,
that,
I
'cause
mean,
even
that's all speculations. Like the
Yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah.
school
I was
shooting
no,
gonna
stuff.
but
say,
I'm just saying like
they're probably
Yeah.
not going to, but
no. I'm just I know from that, because in media, like you were saying earlier, they've had that, like 13 Reasons Why had a potential like school shooter, and then it
Yeah.
had like a character that had mental issue at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and just like drew an officer's gun, and like that was like even tense and disturbing. And like them putting it in this game, I wouldn't want them to. I would want them to like at least like be Rockstar. Don't be like too gory with it. Like don't add that, the school shooting level. Like to just keep it as like PG-13 as it was. It was
Mhm.
PG-13, right? Bully.
what?
Ooh, I'd have
It
to look. I'm
was
pretty sure it was
teen.
mature.
It was
No, it was
mature.
teen.
It was
Yeah,
teen.
sure.
It was teen.
It was
Yeah,
teen?
there wasn't
Okay.
anything like remotely wrong with it. All
Okay.
you
All right.
you could kiss girls. Ooh, and
Yeah.
funnily enough, you could actually kiss guys.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. I remember
yeah.
that being a
There
thing.
was a whole mechanic about that because, like, okay, if we're gonna,
Man, at that time, that's
if
surprising.
yeah. But if we should actually, and we definitely should, kind of veer away from the somber tone that we're kind of, well, that I mainly presented. It's also how are they going to approach many different topics?
Yeah.
One of them, yeah, one
Mhm.
of them
Like
being, exploring one's sexuality or whatever the
quality
case.
and all that
Mhm.
stuff, and like choices that you make. Like
Yeah.
it's and funny enough, in Persona 4, Yosuke was supposed to be a love interest, but then they took him out I don't know why. Oh, because it was Japan and the West wasn't ready for like, like
They keep saying that, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
people have been ready for decades already about that stuff.
listen, we'll get
Yes, but no.
wait, what? Go ahead. Speak your mind.
No, that,
Well,
Wait, let me
people
finish.
not,
Let me
aside
people
from
not
finish.
that,
being
yeah.
ready.
Let me
Yeah,
finish.
finish up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I wonder how they will explore that topic of somebody exploring the sexuality, like the whole gender like situation. Are they gonna like because it obviously it's gonna come up, like they're gonna be like, do we like, they're gonna say like they announce their pronouns, if they announce like what they be preferred to call by, like all those things, and if how would Rockstar implement that in the game, even if it's like a small part of it or
Mm-hmm.
like a large part of it, like how would they implement that? That would be my only question for it. And
Mm.
Okay, here's my biggest question about all this. Okay,
Mhm.
who is to say that somebody who grew up gay or homosexual, or whatever, gay, grew up gay, had a harder time. Like if they see something like this about them being bullied because they're gay, how
Mhm.
is that different from a kid who witnessed a mass murder shooting, having to deal with that? Like a trauma is a trauma, regardless of
Mhm.
what the trauma is,
You mean
Mhm.
and
like
how
their
they have to
experiences
deal
in
with it.
school?
Yeah, so who is to say what's a worse trauma? So why is it okay to put in things about sexuality, his or she, and not okay to put about school shootings? If you're gonna do it, I think just go all out, but
Yeah.
have a
Mm.
positive meaning in the background behind it, because that's what the main bully was really the whole premise of bully was that
Not
you
to be
weren't
one.
bully. It was not to be
You stood
bullied,
up to
not to
them.
be the bully at the end of the day. It was an anti-bully. It was a whole giant anti-bully game, but people just didn't realize it because of the name of the game,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
it
Exactly.
got a
And so
lot
many
of bad
feel just like
press.
that.
It
Yeah,
had a lot of bad
because
press
but
back then.
if you actually pay attention to it, it's anti-bully. So if you're gonna do anti-bully, you do anti-bully everything.
Mhm.
You don't pick and choose that this is worse than,
Mm.
because it's not. A school shooting can be just as traumatic as somebody trying to come out when they were young,
Mm.
Mhm.
or being a nerd or playing chess or whatever it is, that is their trauma. And I don't think I think it should all be equal. And if you're gonna do it, go
Just do
ahead
it
and
all
do it.
out. So you don't
No
think they should restrict
force.
You're
themselves at
totally
all?
right. I
Exactly.
100% agree with what you're
I think
saying.
yes, they do
But
have to
here's the
restrict
thing.
themselves as don't show an obviously mass shooting, because that's just fucking
Yeah.
tasteless for no reason.
Yeah.
That's drawing the line. It's silly. Like you don't show a kid getting beat up because they're different. Whatever. It's just that you have to draw that line, obviously. Um, but you still touch on it, and maybe there's planning on doing it, type of thing. Maybe it starts off with it talking about it. Maybe this did happen. They don't show it, but you hear it, type of thing. And the whole premise of the game is how to deal with this afterwards to stop this from
Mm.
happening again.
Mm-hmm.
You
You
know,
know,
there was a game that had that, right?
What?
Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
exact same. It was the exact same topic that we're talking about,
Okay.
and you
Yeah.
go through the whole process of finding out, like for spoilers, you find out like why whatever happens at the end of the game, like a big like it's like like a fucking a mass tornado just happens at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
game, and it's because of you saving a person at the beginning of the game, and it was your best friend that was also, don't think if that was her lover, but you can have actions that she ends up becoming your lover.
Okay.
And yeah, it was literally the same thing that you were talking about, not exactly the same, but it's a character being different and coming out and being, I would say, she almost gets taken advantage of because of her kind nature. And it's, if you haven't played it, play it. That's the
Yeah.
best thing I do, because I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil it too much.
Now,
It's
Beth,
an amazing game.
you have anything to say about anything that's been mentioned so far, or opinions?
Well, I know nothing about the Bully series. I never played the first one, so I don't have too much. I guess the one thing I will say, as a member of the LGBTs, is I typically do not trust. On the topic of like putting gay representation in things, I keep my expectations very low, because it's
You mean like they
I
don't do
feel
them
like
properly?
Because they don't.
I feel like the things that straight people would assume to be difficult about being gay are not actually the things that are difficult about being gay. And sometimes, like Rockstar specifically, is a company that I would not necessarily trust to handle that kind of subject with care. Like in the first, I think one of the only characters that's even implied to be gay in any Rockstar game that I have played is one of the, oh god, it's in the first Red Dead Redemption game, and it's the one Mexican captain.
Oh yeah.
And it's like he's a total fucking creep, and it's like vaguely implied that he like preys young boys in the village. So it's like if you were to tell me that a company that has that kind of background was trying to make a game that was sensitive to the experiences of young LGBT kids, I wouldn't really be excited.
I guess
that.
it's a good point, because that's the thing that I think about is the Ballad of Gay Tony. That was just that was just outrageous, and just you make a good point there. I don't know who works at Rockstar. I think you're absolutely right, and I think they probably wouldn't represent properly because they don't understand that point of view. But like, what if they had any LGBTQ representation? You know, would that be
well, that's
okay?
actually, I wanted to say this earlier when we were talking about Bungie. The whole thing with like hiring women and hiring people of color and hiring LGBT people, it's not necessarily, you're right, it's not that hiring them in of itself is going to magically fix problems. But when you have a room full of 10 guys and they're coming up with, the backstories for female characters, and they make every single female character like a sex worker, if there's no woman in the room to be like, hey, maybe can one of them not be? Can we make maybe just like one suburban mom character? Can we do that? Like that's more so what having those voices in the room is for, to kind of come in and say, well, like, hey, love the energy that you're bringing, but maybe let's actually try to do something a little bit more genuine to the lived experiences of people in these groups.
I mentioned real quick, like with Bungie, that I bet you none of you guys know about, is that there actually is a gay couple in the game, and they make very subtle references to it, and I didn't realize it. And I in my opinion, like, I'm a straight guy, so like there's only so much I can say about it. But like, it's not Zavala, it's Osiris and Saint 14. Yeah. So there's all these. So Destiny.
Yeah,
so
take a shot.
I will. So in Destiny though, like there's no blatant like, I love this person or that person or any type of thing like that. Like, it's always just in the lore, Osiris and Saint 14 were like best friends, and Saint 14 dies. And Osiris became obsessed with this. He had this obsession of messing with time in order to try to save him. And eventually, in one of the DLCs, you get to mess with time, and you eventually save Saint 14. And then afterwards, there's this strange dialogue that goes with the both of them. He's like, "Oh, I missed you so much, and I've loved you, and this and that." And I was just like, there's this strange connection that they have, and I didn't quite put it together until maybe like the last DLC. Mind you, this DLC I'm talking about now was like a year ago. This recent DLC, Osiris is the one now who is in trouble, and he's kind of dead in a sense. And Saint 14 is obsessed with getting vengeance for his death and all this and that. And I'm just like, there's more to it than what's really going on. And then I started reading up about it some more. I started reading up on the lore, and they're lovers. And I'm just like, oh, that was actually kind of nice that they didn't just blatantly just throw that shit at you. And it's just like, they just love each other. Like, they're best friends, they're best partners, they're all this and that. They just happen to be together. And I was just like, that was really well done. I really like that. So
there's a running joke in the gay community. It's the historians will say they're best friends joke, because throughout a lot of history, especially with like Greek mythology being a great example, you'll have like these two single people of the same sex, and they never married, and they were constantly writing these deeply passionate letters to each other, but They were just best friends.
Mm.
They weren't in love. They were straight.
It
We
was
got married
extreme bromance.
because
That's my bro. I just wrote him a letter, passionate
Exactly.
letter.
Yeah.
it'll be like
Yeah.
I can't, like, there's a weight on my chest when we're apart, and I miss the smell of your hair, and it's like, oh yeah, they were best friends.
So aside from
Gross.
that though, like, what do you think about? I mean, yes, you said you haven't played Bully, but what do you think about just like including that kind of stuff, like having an option of having a male partner, or if you choose a female, because you only play as a male in the first game, but maybe you get a choice. For example, maybe you get a male partner, a female partner. There involves school shootings. Let's say it involves bullying and cyberbullying. Is that kind of stuff? Do you think is acceptable as long as they do it in a very appropriate way?
Yes. There are some people who in the community that only want good representation, like, oh, we don't like it when gay characters are portrayed as like messy or as bad people or as like toxic people. And the thing is, we deserve to be just as messy as straight people get to be. And it's really just about making sure that every character is given the same level of care, like with their backstory. Like, if you are going to have a character that is, gay or bi or whatever, don't just have that be their one defining feature, because that's never a good idea when like
Yeah.
a character is just like, it's this and that's it. So I do think that, the whole representation is important, because then young kids who are gay can get to see themselves and be like, oh, okay, so I'm not a freak. People are like this. This is good. Because when I was growing up, I didn't have that. And I just kind of got used to the idea that, like, okay, well, maybe this isn't right. Maybe I'm not supposed to be like this, but now you have young kids who are growing up and they're like, oh, okay, so this person, like, if you were to have a young kid and they were to find out that a friend in their class has two moms or two dads and they've played a video game recently where there are gay characters, they can make that connection in their mind and be like, oh, okay, that's what that is. I understand that.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. It's all good.
Yeah.
I always feel good like when they it doesn't feel like it's a blatant like representation, but it's more like an educational one, like
Mhm.
portraying a gay, lesbian, whatever,
I think
whoever they loved.
Yeah, I think this would be a great opportunity for that.
Yeah,
Go on.
but then even so, it's like I personally don't like when they make like a flamboyant guy character that's gay. I'm like, he could be masculine and be gay, and
Yeah.
we could perfectly be fine with it. But that's what I hate about certain companies. They always portray like gay men characters as flamboyant or weak or something like that. And then some of the like I would say for anime's sake, there's animes that portray like transgender or gay characters and they're very masculine. I'm like, I never understood that from Japan. Like, why do you have the gay character as like very masculine and everything, and then like over here where we have very flamboyant gay characters? I'm like, he could be masculine, he could be a bodybuilder, he can earth that, he can earth everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
The issue with when it comes to like writing gay characters in anything is that for some reason they have this like insane fucking obsession with letting everyone know that they're gay when being gay isn't a fucking defining feature.
Yeah.
Being gay is just you're a human, you just like the same gender.
or you like
So
what you
it's
like.
not, but they're like, oh no, but they have to know that they're gay. You don't have to shove it in anyone's fucking throat. You don't have to shove anything in anyone's fucking throat. That came out terrible. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What I meant to say is that it's just like,
Good night,
okay,
everybody.
good night. Sorry, Randy's canceled now.
Yeah.
No, but it's like, okay, in Bully, there is a character that's closeted, and you have him like kind of confront everything that he feels is wrong, and he's like, all right, you know what, cool. I'm not a fucking weirdo, because you're not,
Mm.
right? In Borderlands 3, they did it wrong as hell because not only did they write women characters wrong, where it's like every single woman has to have what it would be like penis envy. And it's like, oh no, I have to
Mm.
overcompensate. And now I'm super fucking strong. And you know what? I'm a lesbian. It's like, okay, congratulations, Gearbox. You're being weird about it. You're romanticizing it. You're almost
Mm.
fetishizing it. It's like to a degree.
Mm.
what's the Apex? One of the characters, Gibraltar.
Bro,
He's
that's my
gay.
main. That's my
Yeah.
favorite character.
But the thing is that they're not fucking like parading around, and none of his characteristics are what a
Yo,
simple person would like find to be quote unquote gay.
can,
He's
can,
a
can I just say
badass,
something?
but
Can I say something real quick?
he's a fucking man.
Can I say
He's
something?
normal, like normal in quotes. Like he doesn't behave any different from anybody else.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Kevin.
Randy. Let me cut you off real quick. Yo, Gibraltar has that like big brother cool vibes energy, and that's like it wasn't even like till like I played him like consistently, and I was like, then I found out he was gay. I was like, I don't give a fuck. He's so fucking like he's cool. Like just the way that they portrayed him, it was more like it was like a breath of fresh air for like a representation of a gay character, and I felt like it doesn't always have to be so obvious, or it doesn't have to be like blatantly like shown to you, but I'm glad that we're having more representation of these characters.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, you just got to get like the right people to write them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Then
You have to
there
have the
are,
people in the room.
Yeah.
yeah,
The people who know what you're talking
then
about.
there are also a lot of people in the community that sometimes they misinterpret themselves. Like straight people are fucking shit at writing straight people the same way that they're terrible at writing gay people.
They really are. I'm glad
Yeah.
someone else said it. It would be mean if I said it.
no,
Why would
No,
it be
it-
mean?
It would just be
It would be
honest. I would
Yeah.
agree with you if you said it, because it's true. Fucking no one can write anybody. Everyone's fucking just terrible at representing any person. at
Something
all.
outside of their own perspective.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
because even then, like, what is it? At me as a straight person, yeah, sure, I'm straight, but I could be very flamboyant sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
I like to.
apparently
I like
everything
to.
straight person has to be
I
very,
love
like,
you. I
headstrong.
love you no matter what. And maybe that's just like my side of things. Like you're the only person that I've ever known who could rock pink. And I
Wait, but would you say that you love me enough to write me a passionate letter?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll write you a passionate letter
Randy,
any day of the
I've
week.
been writing you passionate letters for weeks. You haven't been responding.
No, you're sending it by snail mail, bro.
No, I'm sending it by
Confessed my
carrier
bro love
pigeon.
for you in a 3-page letter with my cologne spritzed on the final page. Please
God,
respond.
Dan, please, Dan.
You got it. For
One
Christmas, that'll be your
thing-
Christmas present.
The one thing I will offer, just as a counterpoint to the I don't like it when you shove it in my face, because I get it. Sometimes gay characters are written, and I'm just like
Oh,
I'm
no,
a
no.
lesbian
I'm not
and you're
saying
doing
that I
too
don't like it
much.
when it's like shoved in my
Yeah.
face. It's just it feels like the writers are overcompensating for something, as if like they want to be accepted and they're like seeking approval.
Well, that's the
That-
thing.
that's
My
what that feels like.
counterpoint is just something to consider. Sometimes straight audience members will kind of willfully ignore more subtle signs that a character might be gay, because like a huge part of the Legend of Korra fandom is fully convinced that there was no sign whatsoever that there was any level of romantic feeling between Korra and Asami throughout the entirety of the show.
No,
Whereas
Korra's lesbian.
me, as like a little yearning lesbian, was like, oh my god, season 2, they're in it's gonna happen. But so sometimes I would just that is something to keep in mind, that sometimes being that blunt with it is maybe a misguided defense against people willfully overlooking it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna front. I'm gonna need you to explain that more to me, because I watched The Legend of Korra, and like being straight, I did not see that coming, and I was like, I probably need to watch it more to like understand like the signs, and because there are certain like hints, but you're like nah, she's just like a tomboy, and then that happens, and then you're just like, all right, well, I didn't see this, and then you just like continue watching the show, and I feel like that is something that like probably I've done, like blatantly ignore something like for whatever reason, but I might have to watch Korra again just to see the signs.
A lot
Yeah,
of it you
that
can
one was
really
pretty
start to
fucking
notice it in
obvious.
season 3. It starts with Asami flipping her hair during the driving lesson. It's like, oh, honey, you've only ever done that with Mako. Now you're doing it for Korra. What's going on? What's happening?
Yep.
Well, any final thoughts with this one before we go on? Because I love that we already went through basically just how the game probably should be presented if they go through with this or not. Obviously, we are all pretty much accept we all accept the game if it does come out. Is what I'm getting out of it, as long as it's just done properly, especially with a lot of the sensitive topics that can happen in the game, whether it be school shootings, sexuality, things like that, racism, which definitely should be there as well. Any final thoughts with that before we move on?
Honestly, just keep it the same way that the first one was, because the first one touched on a lot of things really fucking well. Again, one of the male students, he was closeted. You helped him accept it, and he was happy throughout the rest of the game. Your character, you have the freedom to kiss anyone.
I didn't know that either.
So yeah,
Yeah.
no, you could kiss boys. That option comes up.
I always thought like Mass Effect was like the first ones to really do that.
No, Mass Effect was the one that got really good press. Well, no, it actually got shit press.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was an evil game.
Yeah. But it was pretty progressive. Yeah. But no, because Bully was seen as like a fucking bully
negative.
Simulator.
It was negative.
Because you go as a reformed bully, well, to reform a bully,
right,
yourself, because you get sent to that school because you fucked up in the previous school, and you're like left there, and your mom leaves with her boyfriend, and she's like, "Oh yeah, bye, whatever, leaving you for dead," and yeah, you just basically gotta fucking like. You got to show that you're a good student, that you're not going to be a dickhead, and you stop the main dickhead, and you're good. You help everyone along the way. The only thing that I don't think that they touched on was race, and obviously school shootings. But it's actually a really sweet fucking game.
There's a documentary. I think might be called Bully. I can't remember the name of it, but it's about actual school football, actual like hardcore bullying in the school. It's a documentary. It went into theaters, and they wanted to give it a hard R because of all the kids being basically beaten up, because they show all the kids beating up kids. And so instead of it getting this rating, they decided to become unrated. You know, they left it unrated. And if you ever want to see how a CEO society can turn a blind eye to things, watch that documentary, because it starts with the kids down below. So many adults, parents, schools take this blind eye on horrible bullying things that are happening.
What are the excuses?
Beating the hell out of kids on a bus like it's nothing.
What is the excuse of ignoring that stuff?
You gotta watch the documentary.
I don't get it.
It's exactly that. A lot of it is the bus drivers not even caring, not giving a shit at all because they don't get paid or whatever it is. It happening, the schools covering up because it's like, nah, little Timmy couldn't have beaten up the other person. We don't want this bad press in our school, you know. And it's quite harsh. All the bullying that was actually happening in this, like that, and they follow like I think like two or three families that were being like hardcore bullied, and they talked about the stuff that they went to. They talked to the principal, they talked to the school district, they talked to everybody, and they just kind of got ignored. And it's like, well, it's after watching this, it's totally understandable how a CEO or a big ass company can, if a little school will turn a blind eye to these little kids that are, you know, our future type of thing, then yeah, it's gonna be easy to do it to a big CEO as well.
All right. So I'm gonna mention right now, since we're gonna move on to the next article. Since like, you know, the time, but we're probably gonna go over the 2 hours a little bit. I'm probably considering cutting the audio versions in pieces. So we'll probably like separate the audio versions, like, you know, when we talk about the bully game, we'll talk about the Bungie stuff. We'll do that all probably separately, so that way it's easier for some of the audio listeners to take in the content a little bit more easier, because no one wants to listen to a podcast for 3 freaking hours. So I'll probably cut that up for the sake of anybody listening. And then of course I'll post it on YouTube. So the next article we're gonna move on to, last bit of news is The Matrix Awakens is a new Unreal Engine 5 demo that's now playable for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S. If you guys are interested, you can download that now and try to play it for yourself. I want to know what everybody's thoughts were on the demo, the graphics. It's not much gameplay to it, but at least you can mess around with it a little bit. And I sent you guys videos of it if you guys just have some impressions on that as well, because I'm curious as to what do you guys think of this being next gen technology, how this is going to look in the future? Do you think this is going to be something that's going to happen really soon, that it's going to look like that, or is it something that's going to take a couple of years to go?
I think it'll take a couple of years.
Yeah. I'd like to hear from Beth first.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I'm really, when it comes to what I look for in a game, graphics are pretty low on the list. I'm very much like a story, gameplay, and like general art direction person, and like the quality of the graphics. Like I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 finally, and like only earlier today was I actually like, oh, you know what? This one does look much better than the first one. Like it doesn't it's I get that it's very technically impressive and I get that it looks really cool, but it's just like it's not really a priority for me, so it's hard for me to get enthusiastic about it, especially since it's probably going to be a while before I have hardware that's able to handle that level of technical.
So graphics aren't top of your list basically. Like do you think though that the graphics at all will help push along any of the other things that are important to you, like the story and the narrative and things like that?
Uh, Honestly, so far a lot of the games that have really tried to sell themselves on the level on their level of graphic quality, I actually think it hurts the overall gameplay experience. Like, yes, Red Dead Redemption 2 is gorgeous, but it's so like it really wants you to know how gorgeous it is that it kind of almost detracts from the actual play experience. And the Dark Chronicles games, like the sequels to Until Dawn that are like full motion capture with the actors and everything, yeah, they look amazing and I get it, but everything else in the game is just subpar. So I haven't really played a game yet where the focus on graphic quality has been able to stand up to like the other core aspects of the game for me.
Okay.
If y'all
What
have any
about
recommendations,
what was the oh shit the little girl on the guitar, all that bullshit that the all went
Last of
into the
Us?
Last of Us. I mean, Last of Us can
those
be
are on my list. I'm going to be playing the first Last of Us game next because everyone's hyped that one up for me, and I know that that one got a lot of awards. So
yeah.
Just
I
play the
never
first
I
one,
never
it's
played it
fantastic.
either, but
Oh man,
part of the
really?
reason why part of the reason why I never played it is because to me it seems like all graphics, no game,
Well, no, see
or
that's
typical
what I was
game.
gonna mention though, because I would honestly think if you played a 16-bit Last of Us, it would not be as emotional of an
That's what I'm saying.
impact because how real the game looks and how graphically
Yeah,
impressive the game looks. Like the story is fucking perfect. It's amazing. But I don't think it would hit as hard if you're dealing with like 16-bit graphics.
that's what I'm saying. It's all graphics, no game.
Hmm.
Like the
There
game
is game, but
itself.
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, it is. I'm gonna be wrong, but
Yeah.
it's nothing that hasn't been done before. I mean,
Uh-huh.
shooting monsters and
Yeah, yeah,
hiding
yeah.
from them. Like, okay, been there, done that. What makes it great is how it looks and the story that's able to present because of the rest that it made. Putting this huge motion capture on them to create a movie, a long fucking movie. Um, Guardians of the Galaxy, same shit. I mean, if it wasn't because how great the fucking game looked, I don't think it would have won any awards recently.
Mhm.
Because like you said, you hated the gameplay. The
I hated
gameplay
the
was
gameplay.
subpar. It
Yeah.
was, but that wasn't what made the game great. It was
Hmm.
the
Story.
storyline and the story and being a comic book nerd. That being one giant fucking comic book arc that you can see. Oh, this is fun. Um, and just being a fun overall story of a game.
Mhm.
You know. So I do think graphics can help move a needle, but it's a different art. It's different. It's if you're looking for a game because you want a great story, I think they can drive the needle a little better. Final Fantasy VII. I'm gonna go to my remake. I don't give a fuck.
Take a fucking
It's a
shot.
great looking game, but it's one of if you remade that game and just did another fucking 2D or 3D, whatever the fuck it is, it would be disappointing. I mean, the fact that you're able to get into the world and get those graphics and like if they pull this Matrix type environment into that Final Fantasy world, like how much better for somebody who's such enthusiastic like myself to being able to go into the bar and look at every little aspect of every bottle or whatever it is, you know, like I do think that it could be a help to what it already is a great story. You
Yeah.
know, and again, as always, those you have to have the balance. I think that
Yeah.
you need that
Yeah.
balance of you need the great story, you need the great gameplay. Like Death Stranding's a great fucking game, but there's no game there. Everybody knows that it's not a game.
Yeah.
It's a fucking 90-hour movie or whatever.
That's
You know?
pizza
Yeah.
delivery, man.
It's
You
a
gotta roll.
Pizza
piece of
delivery
delivery
movie.
fucking game.
Well, that's the
Um,
thing. Like that's actually one of my biggest things in when I criticize any game is just that, you know, how is the balance? Because if you're gonna aim for like really good graphics, that's very good for a lot of people, but you have to balance it with a good story and good gameplay. So
mhm.
so like if you lack in the graphics version, if you don't want to focus on realistic graphics, then you really have to ramp up that good gameplay and a good story, because a lot of other people might say, "Oh, this is shitty graphics. You know, this is I'm not gonna look twice in this game." Like I played a lot of 16-bit side-scrolling games out there that are still coming out to this day, and like Axiom Verge, for example, like those are fucking great like side-scrolling Metroidvania games, and the graphics are like Nintendo style, but like the story is really good and the gameplay is really good, and that's what makes up for it. Does
But
anybody else?
I think the biggest thing about this Matrix showing off what they could do. You know, if just having the opportunity of being able to do this great movie and you really getting into that world, it does sound exciting, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon. I mean, it's not gonna be at the tail end of the PS5 or the Xbox
I
Series
think
X.
so too.
You know, to look at that level and be an actual good functioning game, and not just
It happens with any
that's for
system, any new system. It takes a while before you start to really see
yeah,
what the engine, what the systems can do.
yeah. I mean, the Final Fantasy remake when it first got displayed during Part 12, um, Part 12, yeah. Well, you know, it was just a tech demo, just like this. You know, it was just to show what the PS3 can do.
Mm.
Um, it wasn't meant to be real. It was just to show, look, oh, fuck,
You
lost
are
one.
so lucky that you're not drinking right now.
I know.
I
I
know,
did it on
right?
purpose. I have
This
nothing to
man's
drink.
been he's been shooting Final Fantasy for like the last 2 minutes straight with no shot.
Kevin or Randy?
Fucking, I think that sober has to make up for his shots next time he drinks.
13. You're taking 13 shots of water. To just to make mine easy, I don't care for graphics as honestly, like it's one of those, it looks pretty, but it doesn't really change the game for me, you know what I mean? Like it can look amazing and it can have like such realistic graphics, but it's not gonna make a bad game good, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like, and I'm not saying the Metroid game is, I mean the Matrix game is a bad game. It's just like it's not doing anything for me. It's just like oh, okay, cool. It's like seeing GTA 5 in like 4K on your computer. It's like, okay, I don't have a computer that's gonna be running GTA 5 in 4K,
Yeah.
and two, I don't
First
care
of all,
for it.
the
But
GTA
again,
5
this
is
is not.
from
This is not
PS3
for the.
now.
Yes, yes, it shows the Matrix, but it's you got to think about the possibilities of what it can do.
Yeah.
What if you
My
did Metroid? What if you did Metroid like this? You know what I mean? A
yeah,
game or series or something
but
that you
yeah,
Well,
absolutely
yeah,
love.
I
but
mean,
but
but look
again,
at
This
Metroid
again,
Dread. Metroid Dread wasn't looking like that, and it still was an amazing game.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like graphics,
well, but yes,
it
I understand. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that a bad gameplay. I'm saying what if you were able to mesh your favorite thing and put it into this scope? How
well,
much
it
more
well
interactive would that make for you
nothing
to
because
be?
it would make the game look pretty, but I still wouldn't care. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's the whole concept of it. It's like the game can look amazing, but it wouldn't matter personally to, in my opinion, it wouldn't matter to me if a game looks amazing or not, because all I'm playing it is for whatever reason I'm playing the game for. If it's like story, combat, whatever, you know what I mean, like something like that. That's what I care for. I personally don't care for graphics because Enter the Gungeon is an 8-bit shooter, and I love that game to death.
Mm.
That's what I mean. Like it honestly does not matter to me. But I'm glad that it's moving forward more to like, looking amazing. But what can you do
It's
with graphics?
you can
Like,
open up an environment you never thought was possible. Like
yeah, but that's
Deathloop. Deathloop was purely made off of an engine that nobody ever thought possible. Like you can't do this. You can't do Deathloop on any other console. You can't do
yeah,
it 8-bit. I mean, it's the fact that you're able to teleport and going back and forth. The there's so much about that game that only could have been done on a higher graphic, you know, a type of a system like this. And
yeah.
that's just gonna open up the environment of what can be done in games. And that's why I'm excited for. That's the only reason I'm excited for this is because it opens up what could be done, what it could look like, what you can make games now. We can
By
make
the
actual open world
It's
games.
like,
by the way, it's not just about the graphics, because I should mention right now there is
Mm.
one game that's out right now that is already running on the Unreal 5 engine, and that's
and that
Fortnite.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like it. I'm gonna be looking at like Fortnite graphics and be like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" You know what I mean?
But
Like, not.
go ahead.
But I get it that it's gonna open up windows, but it's like from like 8-bit going to like 32. It's like seeing the difference, and it's like I've already been like playing games that like change from like one look or runs better or looks better or whatever for like years. So it's like it's just like upgrading. I feel like for me it's just like updating it or like upgrading your computer, and it's just like systems are doing it now. Like since I've been seeing it for so long, it's like them saying like, oh, they're gonna open up more doors and more game companies are gonna be able to like stretch out their legs and like work with the like this basically what they have and make better looking games or better playing games or like shorter load times and all that stuff. Like I'm happy for that, but I'm just like it's gonna just keep progressing like if it like nothing happened. Like I would say like a few months after this like happening, we're not gonna care about it like if they announce it again. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, load times are gonna be like 0.2 seconds. We're like, it was like 2 seconds. You know what I mean? It's just like more so like
we just get used to the technology.
yeah, we'll just get used to it with time, and that's something that I just learned now, like to get used to. Like I can say a game looks amazing or plays amazing, and then I would only say it the one time, and then that's it. Like I wouldn't care about it after like 20 minutes, 30 minutes after it. So
Randy,
but
where you
again,
at?
that's just me. Yeah.
I will throw Unreal a bone here because
Right.
I do think there are a few games that I might get that I probably would get really excited for because obviously they're remaking the first Dead Space game. They're not
Yes.
remastering it. They're remaking it from the ground up. And Dead Space is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. And if you were to tell me that I was going to get a remake of Dead Space with that Unreal, whatever the latest thing is, like these level graphics, I actually do think I would be pretty pumped for that. But that's only because I know that Dead Space is already such a solid game. So if the only thing, like if they were going to keep all the same mechanics, the same story and everything, and the only change I was getting was these crazy level like next gen graphics, I do think I would be excited about that. I guess my concern is that with these games that focus on like, oh my god, these hyper realistic crazy level graphics, it's almost like they feel like they have to make the mechanics of the game as realistic as possible. Like they become less like video games and more like walking simulators. Like
Death Stranding.
so many of the mechanics in like Death Stranding and so many of the mechanics in Red Dead Redemption 2 are just frustrating to the gameplay but make sense because they're going for this like hyper realistic thing. Like the fact that I have to continuously hit a button to make Arthur Morgan finish his cup of coffee it's just annoying. I'm playing a video game. Let me down a pot of coffee by clicking a button once. Don't make me click it every single time he needs to sip. I get it. The game is realistic. It's still a video game at the end of the day.
Is it a quick time event that he takes a sip, or is it just like he just goes like this?
Don't forget you
like
can
that would
watch.
be better.
Don't forget you can also watch the horse's balls shrivel up in the wintertime.
And the horse shits every time you get off of it. Literally every single time. Like who had to animate this? How like what could these resources have been?
Could you imagine those
somewhere else?
developers like having to
Someone got paid to do
animate that?
Literally.
Didn't somebody like in Payday like make like fish move? No, it wasn't. It
No,
was
that
Call
was
of Duty.
Call
It was
of
Call of
with real
Duty.
fish
That
physics.
with the realistic fishes. I was like, why does this matter? No one cares about the fishes.
No, dude, fish physics, bro.
Well, I mean,
It's very realistic.
there are some people out there. Like I've seen videos of technical videos of comparisons between Cyberpunk and GTA when Cyberpunk is still like shit right now. But like they'll throw a grenade in the water and it looks like they just threw it into some cardboard versus like GTA 5 where it's like it looks fluid as hell and looks amazing. So like some people like they're very much into how realistic a game should look. And I guess like for Beth's point, like and then for Kevin's point, I guess it just depends on the game, whether you should push for this realism to kind of follow this narrative that you're trying to push versus like are you just forcing it in there just because that's what you feel like you're supposed to do and it has nothing to do with your story or your gameplay.
Like if you take the hyper realistic graphics away, do you still have a good game
Yeah.
left over? If not, that's not enough.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
You got to get your priorities straight when it comes to just like games for me, honestly. If it's good graphics and the game needs to be a game in itself besides the coat of paint that you're trying to slap on with graphics or whatever you're trying to implement. You know what I mean? There has to be more behind that surface, and that's something that I've always been with.
Resident Evil 8, you love that game, and that's just a pretty game.
I don't.
You could
love that
what
game.
in that game?
Resident Evil 8 is just a pretty game.
It is.
Oh no, the gameplay was great in that game. I don't think the
It's the
graphics need to be the way it is though.
It was
It's the same gameplay of every other
You're
fucking
you're
Resident
not one to talk when you
Every
could play through
single
like
Resident
30
Evil
minutes of the game and because you
It's
can't
like
even
it's
play a
scared.
horror
It's
game.
different. A storyline. I mean, but every other Resident Evil game is the same as that. Resident Evil 9 is the
Well,
same shit.
yeah.
You shoot zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, you shoot zombies.
Hey,
it's
hey,
not
hey, hey,
hasn't
you
been
shoot
that
werewolves.
fucking-
You shoot werewolves in
Sorry,
Village.
whatever.
Shut up.
That's kind of my point. Like you shoot zombies, it's gonna be the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But the graphics made the game look better. It made
Yeah.
it scarier. It made it more
Yeah.
anticipating.
No.
It made it more interesting. Sometimes
No.
graphics
Eh,
matter, and
you kind of did.
with this Matrix thing, I'm excited for the possibilities. Not excited for the Matrix. I don't
No,
think
no,
anybody's
no.
really.
That's not
It's
what
just
we're
a
discussing.
promotional-
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm excited for the possibilities of what it can do.
Yeah.
But best right that you have to be able to take off the graphics. I think in a good game, you have to be able to go. Can I take off all these graphics and there still be a great game underneath?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases you go, well, the graphics can enhance the great game, or you can be like, yeah, it's still going to be a great game after all. That's why I don't really like the Resident Evil series. I can't do them.
It's all the same for you?
Exactly the same.
Mhm.
I'm just shitting myself for no reason and fucking looking like a coward in front of my kids. And then
Your kids better not be watching you play that game.
I actually didn't play them. 'Cause why dad that crying? In the
That
corner? Don't worry,
that
kid.
giant baby set me off for a while. Like I could not. I had to turn off the game for a
It was
while.
the only scary part of the game.
Yeah.
To me, it was. It was the first time in my life, and I'm not even exaggerating, in my life that I had to turn off the game and take a break because of how scary that scene was.
No, I thought I thought there was somebody in the house, so I left. I had my headphones on. I'm like, fuck this game. I'm not playing it no more.
Nah.
I'm doing that.
I played it and I was just screaming like, Ethan, open the elevator, Ethan, please open the elevator, Ethan. I didn't put the fuse on. The baby was like just moonwalking towards me. I was like, hey, this is it.
Yeah.
That's it for me, man. I'm done.
I was just we can't talk about Resident Evil 8. I'll go off on a tangent. There was not enough mommy dom vampire in that
Oh
game.
my god!
Right?
Really?
And she won an award. She won an award, and I loved it.
As she should.
Yes.
She deserved
Oh
it.
my, she definitely deserved it.
Not
Like,
enough
Mom,
time,
they
and she
hyped
still
her
won
up
an award.
So much in the marketing, and she's in the game for like an hour. It just is.
Yeah.
It broke my heart. It broke my
Randy,
heart. I was like,
Randy, you have a
No,
crush
she
too. You got a crush on her, right?
What do you mean?
It made no sense to put that much
Religion.
marketing into her though,
it's like
and then not actually have her be the main character. It made no sense.
Yeah.
She should have been the main character in that whole game.
Yeah.
the main Can we just get like a Resident Evil with her being the villain
Villain.
and it just being about
Please.
her?
She just comes back,
Please.
comes back
They
from the
really made
dead.
it out to make fucking Lady D, and it ended up being fucking Mother Miranda, and that was the most lackluster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody gave
Yeah.
nobody gave two shits about them because I remember I saw the whole recap lore on the game because I
Mhm.
wasn't gonna play it anymore,
Mhm.
and I was like, this is fucking super disappointing. I honestly thought it was about Lady
Yeah.
D because of all the promotional crap.
I thought that
I was very
go ahead.
disappointed in the story. The story was just really not it for me.
It was very
It was-
generic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like I was just as disappointed because like well, spoilers for anybody who haven't played Resident Evil 8, but it's been a while, so whatever. But like you're in Lady D's mansion and you eventually fight her and you kill her, and then when it happened, I was just like, oh, does she come back? I thought she was the main villain. Like, is she gonna like betray the main villain? Like, is she gonna be like the main baddie at the end? She's gonna come back like in all glory and just be like,
right.
yeah. And I was just like, yo, she did such a good job as this villain. Like, is that really just it?
Yeah.
It really sucks.
You think they dropped the ball with that one and just like
Yeah, they did.
gave like she had such like a presence. Like even if you run
Yes.
into her in the
She had
hallway,
presences.
shut up. Damn it. But like her presence like in the game felt like so like
Heavy.
it was almost like Jack in 7. Like I love running into him because he's like, hey, what's going on?
The Nemesis from part
Oh,
2. I mean,
yeah,
that was
Part
the
three.
that was
Yeah,
the
part
main
2,
bad guy. I mean, it wasn't like the main character-wise bad guy, but it was your main, basically your final villain that you had to
Yeah.
try to kill and blow
Yeah.
up or whatever it was. So it makes if they did that, they gave her the Nemesis feel and
Yeah.
have the Lady Miranda controlling it, then fine, you know.
Yeah.
But
And
it should have kept up with it.
Yeah, she should have been. I would either say if she was like the second to last like boss, I would have enjoyed it more because then we had her the entire game. We literally got her after spoilers after you kill her daughters.
It's
you
like an
fuck-
hour or something, right? Like
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it's like you like you're so like in shock that you're just like she's not dead. You know she's gonna come back and like I'm gonna turn around and then she's gonna come back from the dirt and stab me in the
Yeah.
back or something, and then
Yeah.
it never happened, and you were just like.
The other
Man, this
villains
sad.
were just not as memorable. Like even like I mentioned the baby, like the baby
baby
stuff
was-
was connected to
yeah,
that
yeah,
baby
puppeteer
was
woman. I
fucking
can't remember her name, but like
Viento.
I
Yeah,
never got that far.
like she wasn't a memorable villain.
Not
Just
at all.
that one scene with the baby was scary, but like the character herself, that fish dude, I can't remember any of their other names.
Burrow.
That
Yeah, he
shows
was
a lot.
tall.
You remember
Yeah.
the names, so
Yeah.
so like none of them stood out to me. But Lady D, it was in the marketing. They have fucking like cuddle pillows for her. They've got fan art for her. They've got fan
mouse pads for her.
fiction. They got mouse pads. They got all this crazy stuff for this character. Kevin, I know what you're thinking of.
No, it's already like, yo, can you give me a mouse pad there one time?
yeah, so like they have all this stuff, and like Lady D was like the first boss. You're done with her, and then you move on, and you hear a thing, and I was just like, what the fuck?
And the
Capcom?
way that you take her out also felt very cheap. It's like Ethan's just running around the castle. He happens to find a note that says, "Oh, there's a mystic magic perfectly suited for killing this lady dagger, but we don't know where it is."
Yeah,
Oh no, Ethan found it.
and I even thought that knife was going to be a big plot point to the game as well, and that ended up getting lost, and that was it.
Yep.
It was a
Super important knife.
It was a MacGuffin.
It was a
It was-
a very short MacGuffin.
Yeah.
But at least you can say that you stuck her.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Oh my god. Listen. It was plot armor. We all knew
Yeah.
Ethan was gonna win.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
just
After
it was
he Legoed his hand back together. Then,
no, bro. He threw it was the herbs, you know?
Yeah,
Just-
the
he
herbs.
just- like, you know, you ever got hit by a car and just like took some potion and you're magically back to
Some
normal?
Yeah,
herb.
that's what I do every
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Has anybody seen the new movie yet?
No, and
No,
I don't
I'm,
want
I'm
to.
watching it this week.
I don't want
I
to.
want to know if they have the herb. That's why.
Oh.
I
Oh
want
wait,
the
you're
herb
talking
movie.
about the live
Resident
action
Evil.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. But I do want to see that one though, because I heard that it's very fan how do you say?
Fan service.
Yeah, it's fan service. So I do want to see that, but like the animated one that's on Netflix, I didn't even bother with it.
No, that's bad. I tried to
Oh, yeah,
watch that.
It's terrible. I've watched the
That's
whole
not
thing.
watchable.
It's
That's the worst part of Resident Evil right there. The whole political bullshit that they try to pretend to do.
It should have just been a movie, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah,
personally saying
really long.
it was long for no reason. But yeah, I'm sad now. Now I want to play Resident Evil 8 just
I
to
know,
just
right?
get killed by Lady D. just to be in her presence, like, mommy, is it okay?
Mommy.
To feel something.
That's the
I
whole
heard
thing.
I heard a fun rumor today that I want to know if you want.
Wait,
Go
what?
ahead.
And Final Fantasy Remake 2,
Uh-huh.
that they have these game developers, testers, sorry, who've been testing the game, and they leaked out some stuff about it. One of the things that might piss people off is that they're not going to allow you to play with Yuffie
So
and
she's not going to be a character to
Tifa.
play with?
No, you're not going to be able to play with Yuffie and Tifa at the same time.
What kind of nonsense?
And
Why?
then you also can't play with, I think it's Sid and Era, because their mechanics and the way they work are going to be very similar. So it would be too overpowered if you had like two Tifas, basically.
Sid and Eris? Wait, what?
Yeah, because
Yuffie's
they're
a
making Sid
ranged combat. Tifa's is up close.
no, Yuffie is basically. I mean, it's up close. It's kind of like the damage dealer type of thing, the beat 'em up damage dealer.
Yeah.
When you play that,
Yeah.
they're very similar. Sid, on the other hand, they are changing up a bit because he's going to be a dragoon. So they're just saying the way he buffs the people, and again, it might not be exact, but basically those are those combinations. I think that's what they said. But still, the fact that they're limiting it, that you're not going to be able to select certain characters together, like I would want to have. I think for me, I think it would be more interesting if I can. Yeah, if I want to whole beat 'em up with Tifa, and
have fun with
Yuffie,
it.
that should be my yeah. Who cares if it's overpowered? So what? I want to have fun. That kind of what made the original. But the fact that they limit you, I think, like I said, people are going to be a little upset. But they're trying to balance. They are trying to balance a game that don't want to make it too unbalanced.
I see them. I see them with that, just like having them like have you do whatever you want with your party, like as a new game plus kind of thing. They're not gonna let you do it in the beginning.
I can see that. Yeah, no, that's smart.
Maybe
that would be fun.
Imagine you get Sephiroth in your party. just
I'm still.
Well, they'll do that for the flashback, maybe. Like when they do the flashback in Nibelheim.
Flashback, yeah.
Yeah.
And
that'd be
you
nice.
do it like the simulator or something.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're gonna move on to this is the longest we've done the show for. So we're gonna move on to Jeopardy. We're gonna do Jeopardy today. So let me switch on to that, and anybody can play along if you'd like. But if you guys could log in to make sure you logged into your buzzer, because Danny, it says you're disconnected for some reason. Randy, fuck you.
I'm not on
Kevin, fuck you, because you're buzzing in.
Bro, I buzzed before Randy. Come on.
Oh, jeez. There you go. All right. So for some reason the buzzer sound isn't working, so you guys might not hear it. But I see who. I guess I see who buzzed in first, so we'll hopefully get this right. Now, just keep in mind, whoever buzzed in, it doesn't matter how many. If you buzzed in, if you think you buzzed in first, just wait for me to call your name, before you can answer.
And I also think you have to wait for the question to be read out loud.
Out loud, okay.
To buzz, because that's how regular Jeopardy is supposed to work.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because my last time I was just buzzing for fun early.
I'm telling you. Beth, I'm sorry. A bunch of children. They're all a bunch of children.
That's okay.
I'm a grown baby.
I'm a grown baby. I'm a buff baby. I could dance like a man. I hope y'all know that.
Yeah, of course. I could shake
Adventure Time.
I could shake in my can.
All right. All right. So I got this up, and we're gonna let our guest go first. You choose the category
it's
and
it's gonna be on the Twitch stream, right?
Yeah, it's on a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Okay. Bit of a delay on me, so.
Okay. Let's go for open worlds for 300.
300 it is. Ride with the wind in this open world full of haikus, foxes, colorful landscapes, and sword fighting action. Sober Guardian.
I've got the best. Okame?
Wrong.
Oh, shit.
I got it.
Boneless Bones.
What is Ghost of Tsushima?
Ghost of Tsushima is right.
Open. Okay.
How do I do this again? Reveal. Oh, here we go. It's been a while.
Technical difficulties heard you.
All right, so you could choose now.
I'm still waiting for it to show. Give me a sec. Down for 300.
Up, down for 300. Enter
that's
debug
what that
mode
is?
by pressing debug mode. Oh, is it cut off?
Yeah,
Okay.
hold on.
Yeah, it's just down, but it's
Okay.
fine.
Enter debug mode by pressing debug mode. What? I don't know what I wrote. When you press up, C, down, C, left, C, right, C, A plus start during the title screen of this popular 90s Sega game. Kevin.
What is Mortal Kombat?
Wrong.
Gotcha.
Just to let you know, I'm still on the Twitch stream. I see Ride the Wind.
You might want to refresh it.
Yeah, and I have no fucking clue what that. Okay, I see it. Yeah, no fucking idea.
Anybody else?
Anyone else? Oh, look, I heard a buzz. Oh, that was through the her thing. Beth, go ahead.
Yeah, through my computer. I'm just gonna guess Sonic.
It is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh shit!
Oh, it is! Ah! Woo!
Gosh darn it.
Sometimes blind faith pays off.
That is true. That is true.
So your choice.
Gotta wait for the screen to refresh.
Let me fix this down thing too as well.
We get it what it is now though.
Okay. Let's do gaming for 200.
All right. Yeah, damn it. That's all cut off. It says Pioneers of Gaming. Yeah, it's all cut off. It's 200.
Oh,
All right.
Pioneers of Gaming.
Yeah, Pioneers of Gaming. Known as Mario to all, what was his original name? Kevin.
Jumpman.
Jumpman is correct.
I knew that one. Fuck you.
Hey, yo, Roxas, why you in last place, baby?
Give me some time. Yo, I was hoping for this shit to be done by like 12 because I gotta be up at 8.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no,
I gotta be about 5, so.
Oh,
yeah. Let's do movie madness for 400.
400. Violent melodramatic noir starring an NYPD cop who lost his wife and daughter in a horrific murder.
I can't buzz.
Oh, fuck. Well, Kevin.
oh shit.
What is Max Payne?
Max
Yeah.
Payne is correct.
I think I buzzed first though. Somebody messed it
Clear
up.
this. All right, go ahead. I got it. I got to remember to clear.
All right, you're good.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Let's do it. Let's do movie madness for 500.
Going hard. Okay. Starring Scott Wolf and Alyssa Milano, two teen brothers battle the forces of evil in a post-apocalyptic punk world over a medallion. Randy.
Fuck me.
Nope, wrong.
Oh no, I had this. Whoa, wait, hold on. Two Team Brother.
I'll start a timer.
Double Dragon.
It is Double Dragon.
Yeah. Such a bad fucking movie. Man.
Yeah.
That's one of they don't talk about that one. I like that. It's so bad. I like it.
Wait, don't forget to oh, there we go. I was about to say, don't forget to clear, man.
Go ahead, Randy.
Sci-fi galore for 4.
Sci-fi galore for 4. Father loses his child, but befriends a girl with supernatural, multiversal powers and a pet bird. Kevin.
Father loses his child.
Start the timer.
Give me a sec.
5 seconds.
Is it what the fuck is it? BioShock? No, I'm bugging.
Oh, it already ended.
Yeah.
Second is Randy.
BioShock Infinite.
It is BioShock Infinite. Should have went
No,
where you gut,
no.
Kevin.
No, I said BioShock, but it was
Well,
really ran out.
Yeah, it
That's
ran
it.
out.
So you forgot the Infinite.
You forgot the Infinite.
Oh, so we're doing that. Okay.
Hey, you did that with us last time.
I did.
We did guess the game audio, and you screwed me over a technicality with Halo.
It was Halo 2. It's a different song.
It was a different song. I actually heard that. I was like,
Like I would expect everybody to get that one. Go ahead, Randy.
Go ahead, Randy.
Open World 5.
Open world for 500. Delve deep underground as you fight beasts and find valuable treasure the further into the earth you go in this pixel art style game. Beth.
Is it Stardew Valley?
Incorrect.
Darn it.
Number 2 is Randy.
Terraria?
It is Terraria. Terraria it is.
It's Terraria.
Terraria.
Leviosa.
Not Leviosa.
Retro for 4?
Retro Remix or 4. This game was first released in 1989 for the MS-DOS, the PC, using rotoscoping for its fluid and realistic animation. Ventured through a series of dungeons to defeat the Grand Vizier Jafar and save an imprisoned princess. Randy.
Prince of Persia?
It is Prince of Persia.
He used his brother in PJs for that.
Say what?
The guy that created it used his brother to like capture the animation.
In pajamas?
Yeah. That's what he's wearing is pajamas. Because it's just a little white fucking set of PJs.
Wow. The more you know.
the more you don't want to know.
Well,
Just fuck with you.
now you know. So do what you will with it. Sci-fi for 5.
What is it?
Sci-fi galore for 5.
Epic space battles with others and a real working open economy. This game has over 6,000 star systems where you can beat anything from a smuggler to a merchant or a cop, enforcing the law with over 500,000 players. Kevin.
What is StarCraft?
It is not StarCraft. Randy.
What is EVE Online?
It is EVE Online.
I used to actually fucking play that. Jesus Christ.
Oof, really?
I never played it.
I made my head hurt.
I've always wanted to play it, I think. It was like interests me back when I had a PC.
It was the most stressful 3 months of my fucking life as a child.
Did you have gray hairs?
No, luckily.
Not yet.
Nah.
I'm getting there. All right, Randy. Here we go again.
Open worlds for 4.
The red lipstick murder and the white shoe slaying are some of the cases investigated in this noir-like open world title. Randy.
LA Noir.
It is LA Noir.
That's
You
an
gave it
open
away.
world game?
Yeah,
It is open
It's
world.
like a GTA game, basically.
the sandbox.
Yeah.
pretty much.
No,
To
I
be
just remember going
yeah.
from place to place. That's it. I don't remember open world.
Yeah, I probably should have put the noir in to hint you guys into it, but I try
Does
to like
kind of give it away.
yeah. Go ahead.
If it loads. Movie Madness for 3.
Movie Madness for 3. This movie starred Kristana Loken and directed by Uwe Boll
Oh,
in
God.
2003, based on a PlayStation game of the same name. Randy.
Blood Rain.
It is Blood Rain.
Oh, Blood Rain did have a game and a movie.
And a movie.
Yeah,
2 movies.
That name sounded nice. I don't know why.
Yeah, 2
Because Uwe
movies.
Boll does
Talking
the worst fucking video game movies.
That's not true. It's downright awful.
Pioneers for 4.
Pioneers for 400. Weighing 1,000 pounds and 7 feet tall, this character is only be called. Yeah, that's good English. Is only be called by his officer rank in the UNSC, with the exception of one.
What was the category again?
Pioneers of gaming. Kevin.
Master Mother freaking Chief.
Master
yeah.
Mother freaking Chief.
Does that count? No.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
Halo.
No,
I
Halo
said-
1. Next.
Which Halo?
Look, I even said Master Chief before I even said Halo. Just out here trying to steal my points. You have 3,000. You don't need it.
Technicality.
Oh wait, let me clear this. All right.
All right, let's do down for 5. I'm going big boy now.
All right, gotta catch up,
Oh.
huh? The precursor to the game peripheral known as the Game Shark is known as the Randy.
Game Genie?
Fuck, I didn't even think you'd get this one. Okay, Game Genie. Yeah, that's right.
We
Nice.
went over it. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when you attend class. Sober likes to give history lessons.
Yeah.
That is true.
I'll do 4 for down.
Down.
Yeah.
For damn.
You down for 4?
Down, but it's
Yeah.
just
I'm down for 4.
This
I'm a
game had
little
a
down right now.
tone. This game had to tone down its violence only to be later unlocked by gamers by pressing ABA CABB on the Sega Genesis.
That one's Mortal Kombat.
Damn, dude, you didn't even let me call you.
Because I already saw my name. I was like, nobody's catching up.
Yeah, it's Mortal Kombat.
Did he finish the question
Yeah,
before he
he's
pressed
yeah.
the buzzer?
ABAC. I already hit the buzzer, and then he finished. And then I get my
Yeah,
name.
you have to finish the
Yeah,
question.
I should
first
not. I
before
should
you-
not count that next time.
Wow,
You have to
okay.
finish
Yeah.
the person who finishes the question and then buzzes is
Yeah.
all Danny.
Okay.
All right, next. I know you want to beat Randy that bad, but
Oh, I'm foaming at the mouth to be ready. Let's do. I don't down for 200. I don't even. I'll just do 200. Go ahead.
okay. In this game, you kill this boss immediately after a cinematic to skip his long battle during the game. Kevin,
Isn't it Fable?
wrong. Randy,
The end.
okay, bye.
Fuck you. The end for Metal Gear 3.
Yeah, it is the end for Metal Gear 3.
True. I felt like this question came up before. I need to do my research.
Did it? I think maybe it did.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Go ahead, Randy.
Pioneers for 5.
I what? No, it's gaming. I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pioneers of Gaming. This character was created and pushed to get more women gaming in the 80s. Afterwards, this character did more in sales than her male
sorry.
counterpart. Beth,
Ms. Pac-Man?
it is Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Oh, so it's me. Sorry, the Twitch stream is a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
slower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's do retro remakes for 300.
300. A point and click horror where you survive a killer wielding a pair of giant scissors. Damn. Randy first.
Clock Tower.
It is Clock Tower.
Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he could buzz before he finished reading the question. I was like, I'm
Gotta
just
wait till I
waiting.
finish.
So you can buzz after you finish the question.
As soon as I finish.
I
the
get he
question.
finishes the question.
Okay.
Randy, go ahead.
Let's do 5 on that one. Retro.
5 on retro. Known as Makaimura Demon World Village, this platformer was released in 1985 for arcades before making it to the NES. This brutally difficult game must be beaten, then replayed on a higher difficulty to reach the genuine final ending. Kevin.
Wait. Genuine. Ghost of Goblins. Ghost and
Uh,
Goblins.
Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins. That's right.
I'm gonna say Bubble Bobble. Nah, it's
Bubble,
fucking
bubble, bubble.
When do you have to replay the difficult?
In the demon
you-
world.
if you replay it on hard, you get the alternate ending with it just brothers coming out. Their brothers coming up with you or some shit like that.
Mm.
Randy,
I love Bubble Bubble.
I'm coming for you with these points, bro. I'm at 22.
I don't know if that math is coming out right though with the rest of the stuff.
It's definitely not. Math is not my strong suit. Let me do retro for 200.
Retro for 2. This game popularized the term "you died" in gaming, remade for the latest console generation.
Oh, I got skipped.
Nope, I'm skipping you. Randy.
Fucking Demon Souls or Dark Souls? Which one do you want to use?
Demon Souls.
Because it's just the first of the Souls.
It's the first of the Souls. It's Demon Souls. Your first one was right. Because that was the one that was remade for this console.
Oh shit! Right. I was
Yeah.
about to put out Dark
Wow.
Souls first.
You about to say Dark Souls?
You would have got it wrong. I wouldn't have considered it wrong. But the fact that you said Demon Souls first, I was like, yeah, you got it.
Also, it's Demon's Souls.
Demons
One of the most uncomfortable fucking names to say.
yeah.
It's Demon Soul because you only fight one demon. Just be honest. That's it.
Sci-fi galore for 3.
What is it?
Sci-fi for 3.
Space magic, space dragons, kings of darkness, and queens of deception. This sci-fi drama balances story with first-person shooter, competitive PvP, and MMORPG aspects. Kevin.
Space Dragons, Kings of Darkness, and Queens of Deceptions.
Why did you buzz in if you weren't gonna?
I was gonna say Destiny, but then I was like, I know I'm gonna be.
Well,
wrong,
what's
so
your
I'm gonna say
answer?
Destiny.
Your answer is
Yeah.
Destiny? Well,
Yeah.
you said it, not me. Yeah, Destiny.
Well,
That's
you
what
said
I
it,
had.
you didn't read it.
Clicked it. I was like, it is Destiny.
It's Space Dragons.
No, because you know what got me the MMORPG aspects. I was like, I had to think about it. I was like,
Queens of Deception. I was like, oh,
I like how you buzzed in and then you're just like still thinking of the question.
I was reading the question as soon as you finished it, and I buzzed in by accident.
Oh,
I was like,
jeez.
oh shit, I gotta answer and I gotta read this question again.
Fine, you made it work.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Let's do Gaming Pioneers or Pioneer of Gaming for 300. I read that completely backwards.
Pioneers of Gaming 300. 300.
300. Easy.
An incarnation of a goddess, this character joined a tribe known as the Shadow Folk. The only other known tribe member is named Impa.
Oh shit! Fuck
Nope,
me.
not you.
Yeah, no, that's what I was like. Damn, go. Whoever buzzes in next. If it comes full circle, can I answer?
No.
yeah, probably.
No.
Nope, you ain't getting those points. Beth,
Is it Midna?
it is not Midna.
Darn it.
Yeah, I feel like I know. Oh, Shadow Folks. I think I got this.
All right, Kevin.
Is it Shadow of the Colossus? Am I
It is
bugging
not
out?
Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay, I'm definitely bugging out.
So
Can I buzz?
Danny, no, nope. You already lost it. You lost it. Danny's the only one left.
Go ahead,
Echo?
Danny.
Who's Echo? Echo from where?
Huh?
Echo from where?
I don't know. I guess not.
If we don't get points.
Nope. No, Randy. You got enough points. Stop milking
I
that
said, even
shit.
if I don't get points.
No. No. Sit down, bro. Sit down, Randy. Sit down. No, what is it, Randy?
Right.
Well, you don't get any points.
It's Sheik from fucking. Well, it's Zelda. as
Yeah,
Sheik.
I'll give you
Yeah.
that. It's Zelda. It's Chic. Same thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
His Impa is the other one. She's a guard in Ocarina, the brolic ass silver haired one.
Mhm.
Oh, makes sense now.
All right. So who chose the last category?
Me.
Sorry. So Kevin, go ahead again.
Hell yeah. I gotta wait for the stream to load. Give me a sec.
Yep.
Let's do gaming for 100.
Pioneers of Gaming for 100.
100.
Super
Easy.
Fighting Robot. Kevin.
Man, I'm losing my voice.
Say it again.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
I know that was all of it when you said that.
That's pretty much
The
it.
the
I
stream was
was
super delayed,
honestly,
so I'm like waiting
yeah.
for the rest
Well,
of it.
I mean, I said it too, but the thing is, I was really
I know, but I
hoping
was
that
waiting for the rest
somebody
of
really
it.
got this because I couldn't think of a question. But I was just like, the only thing that came to mind was the theme song. I was just like, I'm gonna just put
No.
this and hope for the best.
Nah, the only reason I remember that is because I was watching somebody play Smash Bros. And then there was like, he did his special. He's like, "Oh, it's Super Fighting Robot, Mega Man!" And he was like extremely screaming
It's
at
so
everybody.
exciting.
And I was like, "Oh God, this
Yeah.
is the best."
I
one
know
ever."
the new generation's got some like new theme song for Mega Man. I don't know what it is, but it's not
Oh.
it's not good. It's not the same.
Nah, it's
The
not.
new generation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like other Mega Man shows out there, but they have some, in my opinion, crappy theme songs.
Yeah. Let's do retro for 100. Easy.
Retro for 100. Dude looks like Master Chief with fights like Kratos, fighting demons and angels on Earth and other planets. Kevin,
I'm
you
getting
buzzed in too
smoked.
soon.
God damn it. I got
Randy.
excited.
He's the Doomslayer.
He is the Doomslayer. Doom.
Well, he be slaying though. Also, you could just say Doom. You don't even have to say Doom Slayer.
The game or the character?
Gotcha.
Randy, go ahead.
Open Worlds 2.
Open Worlds 2. This game touts a 31 sextillion kilometers squared open world map. Kevin.
What is No Man's Sky?
It is No Man's Sky.
You still gonna play it, Danny?
Hell no.
Yo, can we 100% No Man's Sky and
What?
travel all 31? How do you pronounce that number again?
Sextillion?
Like,
Sextillion worlds as a group. Be like, man, this rock looks completely the same.
I think they did the math too, and they were saying that like it would take more than like one lifetime, obviously, to actually go through all those
I'll
things.
just leave it. I'll leave it to my son.
Yeah.
Or
continue
dog.
my life. Continue my life's work.
In my will is just gonna say, yo, just finish like the rest that I couldn't do for you, son or daughter.
But they
Get
made
me that
new
platinum
maps.
trophy.
Yeah, give me that platinum trophy.
Yeah.
That's all I care for, and then you can delete the count. Let's do sci-fi galore for 200. 200. Easy.
Survival horror game where no one can hear you scream in space. All you can do is hide and pray. It doesn't hear you make a sound. Beth.
Is it Alien Isolation?
It is Alien Isolation. Damn, Danny. I've never seen you like not on the board.
He probably playing Tekken.
Yeah.
I'm not playing Tekken. I'm playing Final Fantasy in a dungeon.
Alien Isolation.
That's 14. It's Final Fantasy 14 shots you need to take, man. Go ahead, Beth. You are on the board.
Okay. What is left? Let's do Movie Madness for 200.
200. This movie had many spin-off versions of their very popular mobile games such as Star Wars and Transformers. Oh. Okay, I'm surprised nobody's buzzing in.
Movie had
Sorry, what?
This movie had many spin-off versions of their very popular mobile games such as Star Wars and Transformers. Excuse me.
Nah, it's beyond me, Chief.
Oof.
Is this like $100 question or something?
It's a 200.
This is 200. Yeah, that's what I was just like. I
Well,
thought this. I really thought this would be easier. Go ahead, Beth.
Angry Birds?
It's Angry Birds.
Oh, God.
I'm shocked.
Wow.
Wow, okay.
You really just shot in the dark with that one, huh?
Well, I figured, okay, popular mobile games that were turned into movies. Like, I couldn't think of anything but Angry Birds
Birds,
with
yeah.
their
Oh,
shitty animated movies.
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes sense. For some reason, I kept thinking Subway Surfer, and I was like, no, just don't say it. Don't say Subway Surfer.
Wait, they had a Star Wars Subway Surfer?
No.
Oh, that would be kind of funny though.
Is it me again?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do sci-fi for 100.
100. Didact, Forerunners, and Banished, the Precursor, Master Builder, and the Composer are just some of the names and groups that are part of this epic space sci-fi. Kevin.
God damn it! I had the game in my
Getting that
hit the
timer.
timer. Hit the timer. Mass Effect? No,
It is not Mass Effect.
I'm bugging out.
Forerunners?
Didact, Forerunners, Banished. I was worried that Forerunners was going to give it away a bit.
I feel like Forerunners is like commonly used.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see you guys squirm.
You're sure this is a 100-point question? This feels like it's a 500.
Yeah, why did you put like the hard ones for 100?
Yeah.
I don't.
Fucking so
I honestly didn't think they'd be that hard, especially when they gave you so many names.
First of all, you have to consider time, brain cells that are still active, and
1 in the
if they're
morning.
on exactly
1
1 in the morning, and if they're on overdrive, because if they're on overdrive, you're not getting any responses from them at all.
All right, does everybody give up on this one then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Randy?
Yeah, I'll pass.
All right. It is Halo.
I was gonna say that. Oh,
When the fuck was a Didact a thing?
Didact is a character.
In what? Which one?
In Halo 4.
Oh,
yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I didn't play that one. I did Reach, ODST, and the trilogy. That's it.
And Beth, did you choose last?
Yep.
Okay, so you can still choose again.
Oh, okay. Movie Madness for 100.
Movie Madness. Action, martial arts, and a killer theme song released in 1995 influenced the creation of the ESRB. Kevin.
What is Night Trap?
It is not Night Trap.
I'm gonna kill myself.
There's something that came out much later afterwards that influenced the ESRB.
What is Mortal Kombat?
Yes, it is, Randy.
What you know about playing it? No.
What you know about playing
He
it?
buzz it?
He did buzz
He
in.
did.
Those two.
Nah.
I was still processing to call him, but yeah, he got it. It is Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that was.
Yes, Night Trap did get a lot of controversy when it came out for its content and stuff, but after Mortal Kombat came out was when they were just like, all right, fuck this, we need a rating board.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, go ahead.
Open Worlds 1.
Open Worlds 1. This game was the most popular fantasy open world until it took an arrow to the knee. Beth.
Skyrim.
It is Skyrim.
You've used that arrow to the knee, but not in the same fashion. I think you just said arrow to the knee or something.
Yeah.
What would I use it aside from an actual Elder Scrolls reference?
I mean, it was for Elder Scrolls, but it was
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, so Beth, so we got the last one left right now. It's up, up, down, down for 100. This famous cheat code is known as Justin Bailey. You type this into which popular game on the NES?
What the fuck are you? What?
Justin Bailey?
You know, it's funny. I was on Twitter.
Oh,
Somebody was like, "I
jeez.
think I'm in love with Justin Bailey," and I was like, "Why?"
Maybe this was maybe this was too hard.
You're
Justin
giving
Bailey?
us 500 questions.
Randy.
Shit this one out. Is this a Konami code?
No. It's
No,
not
it'll be the
Konami code.
Konami
Is
code.
that your answer?
Yeah, whatever. Go.
No,
Next
it's
one.
not Konami code.
I was like, oh, did Justin Bailey do the Konami code or some shit? Whatever.
So read it carefully though. It says this cheat code, this famous cheat code is known as Justin Bailey.
Oh, well, I don't know. Whatever. Oh,
Maybe I should have put this for 500.
No idea.
so you want the game? Contra?
Yes, it is not Contra.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, that was gonna be my.
Well, yeah, I was gonna call Danny, but yeah, no. Just think,
No, no idea.
I'm trying to give you guys a chance. I mean, obviously, Brandy already won this at this point, but like, go ahead, Kevin.
Is it Metroid?
It is Metroid.
The fuck?
So
shut
if
up,
you
Bob.
type in Justin Bailey in as the name in the beginning, it gives you Samus in the weird bikini stuff and like max health and max weapons and all that stuff.
Huh.
Yep.
Second place for 2900.
Second place. So Randy, yet again, winner.
Dinner, chicken dinner.
I came
Yes.
close though. So
I just want
Bro, you were killing it, bro.
Silver and I were neck and neck, honestly.
Yeah, Randy's still undefeated.
Randy, can you lose next time for me, please? Just for
Next
me,
time
as
it
a homie.
goes up this long, I'm just gonna fucking bail and give someone the crown.
Good night, Huertas. All right,
Night,
so that is pretty much it for today. That is all we have. I hope you guys had fun. And don't forget to check out thedrunkenguardian.com for all the links to the show if you want to listen to the audio podcast or the YouTube. We are live every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Today was a little bit of an exception since I was running late. Boneless Bones, he does some streaming as well. Boneless, are you still there? You look frozen.
Yeah, I'm
there.
still here.
Okay.
Yeah, what's going on? Oh, I'm
Okay.
definitely frozen.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? It's your man Boneless Bones, frozen on stream real quick. And just wanted to let you guys know I do stream and have my own YouTube. The channel is for my Twitch is Boneless Bones _TV at YouTube. That's at YouTube at twitch.tv. Love to see you guys over there. Finally got my internet working, so we're gonna go back to streaming and posting videos on my YouTube, which is just Boneless Bones, no underscore TV. And let's see you guys over there. Later, guys. Bye bye.
And thank you to our guest for today, Beth Elderberry Bat. Beth, where can they find you in case they want to check you out?
Right now, mainly on TikTok, I post short videos about gaming and gay shit. You can find me at Elderberry Bats, no underscore, no spaces, nothing. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch soon. I gotta build my PC this weekend, and we'll hopefully be doing a lot of indie stuff, a lot of like cheesy point-and-click adventure stuff. So yeah, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. It was a good time. I'll definitely follow you as well. I'll put you on there. Brandy and Sober Guardian, say bye, guys.
peace, everybody.
Good night.
Have fun.
Bye.
And we'll see you next week. Later, guys.